WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 5th. Your top story, arrests after protests continue in Madison.
I'm Jessica Ty, a Milwaukee radio executive charged with sexual assault.
Multiple rounds of rain possible today, mostly cloudy skies. Could be some good downpours in some of our areas, high 74. Tonight, rain tapers off, then mostly cloudy, a low of 68. 74 and cloudy in Milwaukee. At 12:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, protesters continue to occupy portions of a Madison intersection where a man was killed in a police shooting in July. Madison police reopened the intersection of Williamson Street and East Washington Tuesday after a protest encampment was broken up. Protesters returned, however, emptying dumpsters and trash cans and setting 5 fires in the middle of the streets. Madison Police Chief John Patterson. So far, 22 people have been arrested through the 2-week protests, including one juvenile protester with a gun who was arrested on unrelated charges.
A former Milwaukee radio executive is charged with child sex assault charges.
44-year-old Jordan Lee has been charged with first-degree sexual assault of a child in Milwaukee County. Prosecutors allege Lee sexually assaulted a child known to him after an investigation began over an email he allegedly sent to a therapist describing years of abuse. A Radio Milwaukee spokesperson says Lee's employment ended on July 23rd and says the allegations are not connected to his work at the station. The station says they are also horrified by the allegations and praying for the victim's healing. Court records show his initial appearance is scheduled for August 10th. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
A conservative legal group is asking a judge to block Wisconsin's new online sports betting law before it even takes effect.
The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty filed the lawsuit, arguing the law violates the state constitution's prohibition on expanding gambling without voter approval. The suit also claims the plan violates the U.S. Constitution by giving Wisconsin's tribes exclusive rights to operate online sports betting. Supporters of the law argue it's constitutional because all bets would be processed through servers located on tribal land. Governor Tony Evers signed the measure back in April, and the state's 11 federally recognized tribes have urged him to move forward with implementation. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Attorneys for former Olympian David Hearn want the reflecting pool vandalism case against him dismissed without prejudice, citing exceptional facts and circumstances. News Nation's Marnie Hughes.
Hearn is among several people accused of vandalizing the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool in June after he allegedly touched a detached section of the pool's lining during a bike ride in D.C. His attorney is raising concerns about the weight of those charges. The charges were dismissed, and dismissing the case, however, without prejudice could still leave David Hearn exposed to a future indictment.
U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro moved to dismiss the indictment against Hearn, saying newly produced evidence shows Hearn was not responsible for damage to the pool's lining.
Additional cyber attacks against U.S. water facilities across the country, widening the scope of the ongoing federal investigation into these recent attacks. ABC's Aaron Kotursky.
We just heard in the last couple of hours from the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security that 2 municipal water systems in the state were affected. New Jersey did not name the municipal water systems, probably because they don't want to cause any panic, because they say customers had uninterrupted access to their drinking water. A couple of the systems did go on manual controls. That means the hack was successful in shutting down some automated systems. That was quickly recognized. They figured out how to revert to manual controls, and that's what was done so that the water supply was never put at risk.
Wisconsin is not one of the states that was impacted. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed results today. The Dow up 500 points at 54,530. NASDAQ off 100 at 26,482. And the S&P is back and forth today, currently about 1.5 points in the green at 77.38. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Well, how about this? The Milwaukee Brewers are the only team in baseball with 70 wins. We're looking ahead to the next game. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Looking for a getaway with fantastic outdoor recreation? Sheboygan is a perfect destination. Hike or bike through Kohler Andre State Park and other local parks. There are all kinds of water sports, including surfing, paddleboarding, and kayaking. Sheboygan's walkability takes you to South Pier. Visit shops, play mini golf, and enjoy fine dining. Shop their farmers market and take in live music. It's the Malibu of the Midwest. Plan your getaway today at visitsheboygan.com.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Lefty Kyle Harrison returns to the mound tonight against 2025 Cy Young Award winner Paul Skeens and the Pirates. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. Newly acquired starter Dustin May will make his Brewers debut in the series finale Thursday afternoon.
I mean, being able to come to a team that's leading the division by a lot, very good ball club, and got a really good chance to go to the playoffs and make a run. I'm very, very thrilled to be a part of it.
Brewers the only team in baseball with 70 wins. They begin the day with a 5.5-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Packers linebacker Micah Parsons says he's right where he needs to be in his recovery from a torn ACL and meniscus. Parsons targeting a return to action in Week 6 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it's very realistic. At the same time as in these next 10 weeks, 12 weeks from now, we got to do our part to make it possible. But, it's not off the board, but we got to put the work in.
Parsons says he's back to running and hopes to begin making cuts on the field in the next 6 weeks.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We have one crash up on the big board. Let's go down to Kenosha County and see what we have. The crash is on the ramp from Wisconsin 50 to 4194 South. I'm taking a peek at the cameras for you. I will say this camera in particular is pretty far away, the view from the scene. But I can see a handful of cars off to the side of the road. It looks like 3 cars off to the side of the road. One of those may be a tow truck to get this crash out of there. But traffic is moving along okay, and that's partly because this crash is on the ramp. It's on the ramp from Wisconsin 50 to 4194 South in Kenosha County.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Well, multiple rounds of rain are possible today, and some of those areas could receive up to 2 inches of rain. High of 74. Rain tapers off tonight, a low of 68. Gradual clearing on Thursday. Should be a pretty nice day, high of 76. Sun returns on Friday and a high of 81. A little more humid on Saturday with a chance of evening storms and a high of 82. Humid on Sunday as well, high 82 degrees. It's 74 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, 24 hours from now, we will be originating the show from the Wisconsin State Fair. Looks like a nice forecast for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, kicking this thing off right. All the rides being inspected today, and our own Nazir Spencer is riding that monster Ferris wheel, that 250-foot Ferris wheel.
The America 250 wheel. Don't call it a Ferris wheel.
That's right.
I've got that coming up.
That's right. That is a big deal. No doubt about that. The Wisconsin State Fair, just a part of the fabric of a Wisconsin summer. Looking forward to being there tomorrow.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A new Marquette Law School poll is out today, and it finds the economy is still driving voters' concerns. Inflation and the cost of living remain the number one issue, with the economy close behind. The survey also shows President Trump's overall job approval ticking up slightly since June, but his ratings on handling inflation, the economy, Iran, and gas prices all remain at 30% or lower. Democrats hold a small edge on the generic congressional ballot. The poll also finds continued public skepticism about artificial intelligence and big data centers. Over the next week here on Wisconsin's Midday News, we'll have conversations with the gubernatorial candidates here in Wisconsin. Hear what they have planned to address voter concerns if elected. Our discussion starts today with David Crowley and Kelda Royce. That's coming up at our 2 o'clock hour.
Well, President Trump says progress is being made on negotiations with Iran, teasing a possible announcement within the next 48 hours. As for the Strait of Hormuz,
it just comes down to negotiations and what the U.S. is willing to concede or not concede, because it's obvious, I think, to all that the Iranians are going to keep control of the Strait of Hormuz unless they're forcibly basically pushed off that position, and that can only be done really by the U.S. military.
And that's former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Middle East, Mick Mulroy. President Trump has described the discussions as, quote, very good, and framed this as Iran's last chance to make a deal. Meanwhile, those in Iran, officials, state media, have repeatedly disputed claims of direct negotiations with the United States.
The Wisconsin State Fair starts tomorrow. Today, experts from the state are busy inspecting the rides to make sure they're safe for everyone. And the new attraction this year is the America 250 wheel. It is the largest portable observation wheel in the entire world. Don't call it a Ferris wheel, they say. Get a ride on the America 250 wheel, and you will have a view 230 feet above State Fair. On a clear day, you'll be able to see 14 miles out. That's just awesome. So to give you a comparison here, this wheel is 75 feet higher than the Wonder Fair wheel that's been featured at previous Wisconsin State Fairs. Each of the 45 gondolas seats 6 people. You can kind of have a party in one of those, right?
Sounds like fun.
And there's 45 gondolas for each of our presidents, hence the America 250 theme.
I'm taking Grover Cleveland. Just got a feeling about it.
He's got dibs.
12:13, the latest from Packers Camp with ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde after this.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Not sure what to do for dinner tonight? I'll make it easy. Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza in the oven. About 20 minutes later at 4:25, you could be enjoying a Screamin' Sicilian or a Connie's or an Urban Pie, neighborhood pizzeria pizza. They got a slice for every appetite. What are you in the market for? It's a great dinner. It's a great lunch. Great anytime. Palermo's, made in Wisconsin for 60 years and found wherever you like to shop, including festival foods, Pick and Save, Piggly Wiggly, Woodman, Sendix. Wherever you go, you will find it. Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Palermo's.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Well, training camp continues for the Packers. Believe it or not, a week from tomorrow, the team will be in Pittsburgh taking on the Steelers. There are some rumblings out of Pittsburgh that Aaron Rodgers will play at some point during this preseason, maybe even at a couple of games. Not exactly sure if that'll be game one, but nonetheless, could be the Packers v. Rodgers in some capacity. week from tomorrow. Happening in Green Bay, well, lots of things over the last several days. ESPN Wisconsin's Wilde and Tausch, Jason Wilde, covering it for Channel3000.com, joining us here on the line today. Hey, Jason.
Hey, everybody. How we doing?
We are doing great. We're wondering about Micah Parsons because Packers fans are anticipating his return. What is likely at this point?
Well, I can't tell you what's likely. What I can tell you is what he says is realistic and on the board, and that would be October 18th against his former team, the Dallas Cowboys, in Week 6 here at Lambeau Field. Now, again, he did not commit to that, and I don't think any of us expected him to. But when he talked in June, he was very reluctant to even talk about specific games. So I think it's pretty clear, he's going to start the season on the physically unable to perform list. That means he will miss at least the first 4 games. He can start practicing after the first 2 games. So somewhere around the 9-month mark from surgery, which would be September 29th, he's going to be allowed to start doing some football things. He's not going to play in Tampa the first weekend in October. It sounds like it's not likely that he'd be ready for that first Bears game, which is the following week. And then the week after that is when they play the Cowboys. Now, he is not committed to playing the Cowboys. There's a chance it could take even longer. But I loved his warning to opponents. Don't worry about the knee and when I'm going to be back. Worry about what I'm going to be like when I am back, because I'm going to let loose the anger and frustration that I've accumulated while not being able to play football.
That's fierce.
Well, among those who really wants to have him back is Jonathan Gannon, the new defensive coordinator. How do you do this, Jason? You're a new defensive coordinator. You're trying to get guys to buy into your system. You're trying to figure out who belongs where, knowing that maybe for half your season you're not going to have one of the most dominant players in all of football at your disposal. How do you do this?
Yeah, that's a great question, and Tom Silverstein from the Journal-Sentinel kind of asked it. Now the way Spoon framed it, he said, well, 5 weeks in, you're going to get one of the best players in football back. And then he asked this question, and Cannon responded by saying, oh, you must know something that I don't know. Because I don't think they feel certain that they're going to have him back after just missing 4 games. But to your point, that is the challenge, right? Like, obviously, he is a field-tilting, game-changing player. And it is a lot different when you have him versus when you don't. And all we have to do is point to how last season played out after he suffered the injury in Denver. They were leading that game in Denver on December 14th, and they never won another game, including the game he got injured in after he went out. So obviously he is incredibly important to what they do. I'm sure they have all kinds of ideas for how they will use him once he's available, but it's almost like you have to have 2 playbooks. And I know Jeff Hafley talked about it last year, because remember, they prepared for the 2025 season having no idea that they were going to have Micah Parsons on their team. He was traded on August 28th. And so they had kind of 2 playbooks, and when they lost him, they kind of went back to the pre-Micah playbook. This one will be the opposite. They'll have a without Micah playbook, but then once he's back, he's going to be dialed up for a lot of different things.
Jason, Packers training camp started exactly 1 week ago today. What have you learned about this team so far? I know it's real early, but it's always kind of interesting to take a peek and get a fresh look at the guys.
Yeah, I've learned that I'm getting older because I don't have the same stamina, and there's a lot less practices than there was when I first started doing this. But, I think the bottom line about this team is that they got a bunch of good players. They don't have a great amount of depth. They're obviously putting a rookie kicker into a hornet's nest, and how he handles it is going to be a question. They've got some questions on their offensive line. They've got some questions at the cornerback position, and we haven't gotten answers to any of those. Jordan Love's looked good. Again, it's practice, so we can't evaluate it too extensively, but I'm really eager to see, because in Aaron Rodgers' 3rd year, he obviously led the Packers to the Super Bowl. Jordan's 3rd year, obviously them losing Micah, hurt their Super Bowl chances. But in Aaron's 4th year, he went out and won the MVP. And he threw 45 touchdowns against 6 picks. And I'm not saying that that's what Jordan has to do for them to be a Super Bowl contender. But I think he's eager to do more. He only threw 23 touchdown passes last year. I think he's a really good player, but now it's time for him to elevate his game, and I think he sees it through the same lens.
Going to want to check out channel3000.com. Jason Wilde authored it, The 5 Things That Caught Our Attention at Packers Training Camp, August 5th. Packers with a closed practice today, and they'll have family night at Lambeau Field here at the end of the week. Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. Always great to check in with Jason Wilde. Appreciate it, pal. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, everybody. Take care. Be good.
Yep, you did the same. It's 12:21 on WTMJ. Back to the kicking thing. So they love the kickers, the beat writers. They love watching. They get a stopwatch out every time a punter punts to see how long that ball's hanging in the air. They keep track of the stats because it's tricky when you're watching things, with the 11 on 11 and so on. Who did what? Did this guy win his matchup? Did he not? Kicking, it's cut and dry. Did you make or did you miss? And there was a point last week where Matt LaFleur went to the official that was signaling good or no good with the kicks and told him to stop. Don't do that. And then Matt LaFleur joked with the beat writers, I'm just trying to make it uncomfortable for you. And then their bounce back was, come on, we got to know this stuff, right? We got to report what is happening here. So maybe try to take some of the pressure off his rookie kicker and make that not so much a storyline.
And didn't he say, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but hey, listen, he's got plenty of pressure on him.
Definitely.
He doesn't need extra.
It is all eyes on that kicker right now, no doubt. It's a lot like the case of Anders Carlson, where there's a lot of pressure on him, there's a lot of pressure on whoever kicks when your name is not Mason Crosby. It's 12:22 on WTMJ.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 17 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. That's bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Such wonderful people, and they are the experts in the space. If you got a busted garage door or opener, check out Geis and visit geisdoors.com with brands like CHI and LiftMaster, a beautiful custom design center. They got it all for you. And it's at Geis for swift and reliable garage repair solutions. Visit geisdoors.com. The showroom is in Brookfield, right off Barker Road. In Brookfield, you don't think twice. You call Geis and visit geisdoors.com.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Write It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
One great day of golf can change lives. Join me, Steve Scafidi, and my co-host Kristen Bry on Monday, August 31st for the Salvation Army of Milwaukee County Swing for the Kettle Golf Invitational at Oakwood Park Golf Course in Franklin.
Your participation directly supports food, shelter, and life-changing programs for children and families throughout our community.
We'll be broadcasting live from the course, but the day is really about you getting golfers and sponsors together to make a difference.
Foursomes, individual golfers, and sponsors are all welcome. Reserve your spot today at samilwaukee.org. That's samilwaukee.org.
A couple of rounds of rain are possible. Most of the rain right now is to the north, and a good spattering of rain over Lake Michigan. So maybe dodged a little bit of our area in southeastern Wisconsin for the time being, but that could change, of course, later throughout the day. High of 77 degrees. Clearing skies eventually tomorrow, and a high of 78, up to 81 and sunny on Friday. Should be a pretty good start to the fair. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all look pretty good with temperatures and humidity starting to ramp up a little bit as you get into the weekend. It's 74 degrees in Milwaukee at 12:25.
Last week, we told you about the blood supply. There's just a massive shortage right now, and they're asking. There's always a shortage, typically. We're usually low in the summer months because people are just doing things. Families are out and about. A lot of people aren't going to give blood. So that's nothing out of the ordinary. But what's happening right now is very significant. And I think Rhode Island is doing something that Wisconsin might do. There's an ongoing blood supply shortage, as we've been talking about, which has been called a crisis at this point. But in one state, Rhode Island, there is now a new incentive for donors. ABC's Hannah Battah.
The Rhode Island Blood Center is offering a voucher for a free pint of beer if you donate a pint of blood. Donations nationwide are low because of bad weather and foodborne illnesses.
A pint of beer.
Pint for a pint.
I like it. It's smart. You think about Wisconsin, I think we could latch onto that. You just don't want to have that pint right after you get blood.
You
want to have the cookies, right? And you want to sit there and let it all settle.
Yeah, it's usually donuts, something sugary, some kind of orange juice or something like that after you've given blood, right? So you get a little voucher or something like that. Are they partnering with the brewery? I don't know, but a pint for a pint, I like how that works.
A voucher for a free pint of beer. I remember one of my biggest memories from being a kid, my mom going to donate blood. And I just remember being a kid and kind of thinking like it was a little gross, actually, because they'd put the yellow orange stuff, right there in the middle, and then they put the needle in, and then she'd sit there afterwards and have a cookie. Yeah. And I just, sit there and wait for mom to be done giving the blood.
The first time I gave blood was I was actually in college, and the person next to me passed out. I thought it was that right before the needle was put in my arm. I was a little disconcerting, but nonetheless, I did push through. This is part of a campaign, this pint for a pint thing. So through the end of the month, and all the vouchers must be redeemed at a future visit before October 31st. So you got some participating locations and a bunch of local breweries in Rhode Island participating. So one of a number of breweries are partnering with the state. You get that voucher, hop into one of these breweries before the end of October, and there you go. Get your free pint.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, the American Red Cross declared the second ever national blood supply crisis, the second ever in its history. So it's urging immediate blood donations. And Rhode Island is finding a creative way to bring people in.
Love it. 1227 here on WTMJ. Just getting started. Wisconsin's Midday News till 3 o'clock. And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, "I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house." Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 5th. Your top story, a correctional officer arrested for sexual assault.
I'm Jessica Talley. A supply drive to help kids impacted by a massive fire at school.
Rounds of rain possible today, mostly cloudy skies, high 74. Rain tapers off tonight at a low of 68. It's currently 74 and cloudy in Milwaukee.
In Michigan, ABC News, I'm Michelle Franz, and ABC News predicts progressive candidate Abdul Al-Sayed will narrowly defeat moderate Representative Haley Stevens. Al-Sayed calling for all Democrats to unite.
Whatever differences that we might have had in the primary, they pale in comparison to what unifies us. A recognition that so long as we want to keep our democracy, that democracy better be working for people, and that all of us have to come together to make sure that we never let Mike Rogers see the inside of the U.S. Senate.
Al-Sayed expected to take on Rogers in November's general election. In Germany, U.S. officials have been told that authorities discovered a drone fitted with an explosive device and detonator were in fact found near Ukrainian Antonov cargo aircraft at Leipzig airport. German authorities classifying the incident as state security case and are not ruling out the possibility of sabotage. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran remain. President Trump insists a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz could come as early as today. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. A Rock County correctional officer charged with sexual assault after engaging in a romantic relationship with an inmate.
28-year-old Jacob Struley was arrested Tuesday for allegedly engaging with an inmate who was on electronic monitoring. He has been charged with second-degree sexual assault and is due back in court Thursday. Struley is no longer employed with the sheriff's office. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
The president of the Islamic Society of Milwaukee appeared in Chicago for another court hearing in his deportation case. An attorney who represented Salah Sarsour back in 1990 in Israeli military court testified in court yesterday. One of Sarsour's current attorneys is Samuel Cole.
He really explained what was going on at that time, that the convictions were not what the government has said they were, and the charges against him, in the end, had absolutely nothing to do with anything relevant to the government's immigration charges against Salah.
The government is expected to cross-examine that attorney who testified yesterday, coming up next week.
A new scam targeting residents in the city of Waukesha.
A caller is claiming to be Deputy Campbell from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office and telling residents they have an outstanding warrant. The caller then demands payment or else the resident will be arrested. Sheriff's deputies say they would never demand payments over the phone or ask for gift cards, credit cards, or personal information. They recommend hanging up immediately and then calling Waukesha County deputies back directly to report the scammers. Jen Gregg, WTMJ News.
We Energies is expanding its renewable energy portfolio as electricity demand continues to go up, and that's driven in part by big projects like data centers.
The utility has begun construction on 3 new projects in Wisconsin, a battery storage facility in Walworth County, a solar and battery project in Rock County, and a wind farm in Iowa and Grant counties. Together, the projects are expected to generate enough electricity to power about 100,000 homes while helping meet growing demand from customers, including future data centers. We Energies says the projects were previously approved by state regulators. The projects also expected to create nearly 500 construction jobs. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Police hosting a back-to-school drive for teachers and students affected by the Lincoln Avenue Elementary School fire. Students have been relocated to Pulaski High School for the upcoming season, but all the classroom supplies were destroyed in the fire. Community Liaison Officer Carissa Sanchez.
If people are able to donate, please donate. Any little bit will help in the end. So we just want to be able to give anything to them, anything back to them.
The drive runs through August 24th with donation bins set across all 7 districts.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Son, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And eat pizza.
Preferably a Marty's Pizza, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to keep the prices low. We're a family-run business, and many of our employees have families. I want to make sure that as tight as it gets, a growing family can always afford to enjoy a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
child in foster care deserves someone who believes in them. That's why La Causa is looking for more foster parents.
They never really checked on me, and that's why I appreciate La Causa tremendously, because they were the ones that showed me we care. I met my La Causa team, all brilliant people, and people that wanted to see me succeed.
That kind of care can change a life. Learn how you can become a foster parent with La Causa at lacausa.org.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Packers linebacker Micah Parsons believes a return to action in Week 6 against the Cowboys is realistic. Parsons continues to rehab a torn ACL and meniscus.
People are worried about the knee. They should be worried about how I'm going to play when I get back. The anger, the frustration, the things that I'm going to have to let out because, how long it's been since I played. So I think that's what people should really worry about, like how great is Micah going to be when he gets back.
Packers begin the preseason a week from tomorrow against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Brewers begin the day with a 5.5-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Manager Pat Murphy asking for fans to support Christian Yelich through his struggles at the plate. Yelich batting just .190 since the All-Star break.
Let's not forget what he's done. And that doesn't give him the grace to not, if he's in the lineup, he's got to perform, and he will. We can't start piling on when this guy's done a lot. He deserves the respect, and hopefully our fans understand that. If we're going to thread the needle, we need Yelich.
Lefty Kyle Harrison returns to the mound tonight in Game 3 of a 4-game series against the Pirates. Coverage gets underway at 6:05.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. DOT still reporting a crash down in Kenosha County, a crash in the ramp from Wisconsin 50 to 4194 South. I will say there is a possibility that just cleared. The camera has switched angles, so I can't see it. It may still be out there, but it may have cleared as well, and they just haven't taken it off the big board. So just in case, I do want to let you know in case you're traveling through Kenosha County. Closer to Milwaukee County, we're doing okay. Even our delays around the ballpark, American Family Field, not too bad right now in our construction zone. Yes, we are seeing a little bit of slowing, 94 eastbound and westbound, but I've seen it much, much worse. We have a disabled vehicle as well. I-94 West, very close to the ramp from Highway 100. Left shoulder is blocked there, but looks like traffic is moving along at a okay pace. Oh, and here we go. Brand new crash, 4145 South at Burleigh Street. That is a busy spot. Right lane is blocked because of that crash. I'm going to pull up the cameras here on this new one. Yeah, this looks like a mess. Possibly a semi involved in this one. See a couple people out of their cars. Emergency responders did just get to the scene, so that's good news. This is in our construction zone, so this is just going to cramp things up even more. Traffic right now moving very slowly just down the middle lane. That's a brand new crash. 4145 South at Burleigh Street. Right lane is blocked because of it. That's in Milwaukee County. Traffic moving very slowly.
Rounds of rain are possible today, but the idea of a washout has been washed out. Could be more of an evening thing. Multiple rounds are possible still. High 74 degrees. Rain tapering off tonight at a low of 68. Should be clearing skies on Thursday with a high of 76. Friday's high 81 as we get back to sunny conditions. Saturday looks pretty good. Hot and humid. Chance for an evening storm. A high of 82. Hot and humid on Sunday with a high of 82. 74 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:39. It's the most used daily drug in America. It's marijuana. More and more states have legalized the substance, leading to a rapid increase in the amount of Americans using marijuana on a daily basis. Some prescription, some recreational. Let's dive into the numbers with ABC's Jim Ryan. Jim, who did the study and how far back? What time frame are they looking at to show this rapid increase in marijuana usage?
Well, they're looking year by year by year, and it's an office that I'd never heard of before, Greg. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, which is a .gov. It's a government agency, and every year they do a national survey on drug use and health. So they look at all sorts of things, alcohol use across the population, drug use, marijuana use, and then mental health issues as well. And yeah, the outfit, this office is finding that, in fact, there have been declines in the 12 to 17-year-olds, the teenagers using tobacco, alcohol, or binge drinking, marijuana use in the past month. So there are some bright spots in there showing some declines. But overall, and this may be a good thing or a bad thing, if you look at the numbers, a separate study found that more people are using marijuana or THC than are smoking cigarettes. Now, that's not to say that they're not putting nicotine in their vape pens, but people actually lighting up cigarettes, they're outnumbered by people using marijuana.
So marijuana has now surpassed cigarettes for daily use. You mentioned the different ages. I'm wondering what else might be driving this shift. Is it legalization? Some people would say Wisconsin is still stubbornly behind the times on this.
Oh, well, perhaps, yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with legalization. And this study was really broad. We're talking 60,000 people across the country, not just in places where it's legal or illegal or somewhere in between, but places across the whole spectrum. Among illicit drugs, now, this includes marijuana. Marijuana was the most commonly used illicit drug. 21% of people aged 12 or older use it or have used it in the past year. That's 61 million people. Now, is it illicit if it's in a place where it's legal? Hard to say, but that's how they classify it here.
So public perception of the risk is certainly dropped, Jim, over time. You've got more and more states legalizing marijuana, permitting medical marijuana. I think 41 states now are in that world. Meanwhile, on the other side of it, spend some time on social media, and it seems like an anti-drinking culture has sort of formed. So it's a dramatic shift in perception going back to when I was in high school in the mid-'90s.
Well, that's true. Yeah. And so as the stigma associated with marijuana use has gone down, the stigma associated with smoking has gone way up, right? Back in the 70s, 80s, when you could actually advertise cigarettes on television, that's all gone away. Public awareness campaigns, taxation of tobacco products, and of course, smoking laws that have gone into place, illegalizing it in many places. So, yeah, that stigma is rising. The stigma associated with other stuff, with cannabis specifically, has gone down.
Has marijuana changed over the last few decades? Is it more potent today or less potent today than it was, say, 2 decades or 3 decades ago?
Yeah, I think that, the testing has shown that is the case. But anecdotally, you'll hear the same thing, that people who were using it in the 70s and are using it now will tell you that, it's much more potent now than it was back then. And of course, in a place like California or Washington State, it's measured, it's carefully measured and regulated, whether it's prescription or recreational use.
I'm wondering how states are going to handle this rise, right? Because you cross the border into Illinois, you can pick up anything from a cannabis shop, you bring it back into Wisconsin, though it may not be legal. It is more readily accessible. I think Jessica used a good term here. Wisconsin seems to be stubbornly behind from a recreational and medical use of marijuana. But the accessibility, Jim, it's never been greater in our country than it is today.
Well, that's true. And here's a good example. It hit Texas where I am. It's illegal. There's no recreational marijuana use here at all. Now, there are some products on the market that you can buy, Delta 9, for example, which is a derivative of hemp. But if you go just across the border into New Mexico, right on the other side of the state line is a shop, a dispensary, right, where you can purchase marijuana. The parking lot is absolutely packed with cars that have Texas license plates on it, right? Because people are going over the border and then buying it the same way they do in Wisconsin, going over to Illinois. So, states have tried to adapt to it one way or another, whether they're going to keep it legal or make it illegal.
Oftentimes, it's about who's in leadership, too, which lawmakers support change. We have a primary coming up next week here in Wisconsin. We've been talking about that a lot lately, then the general election in November. Maybe we will see the law change in Wisconsin soon. 2/3 of voters in a Marquette Law School poll last year said marijuana should be made legal in Wisconsin. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
ABC's Jim Ryan joining us from Dallas. We appreciate it, Jim. Thank you.
See you guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey, moms, dads, grandparents, is summer getting a little long? Kids getting bored? WTMJ's John Mercure here. How about this? Treat them to the Mine Shaft Restaurant and Entertainment Center in Hartford, the area's most affordable staycation destination. The Mine Shaft has a gigantic game room with over 70 games, including the easiest games for the little ones. And Sunday through Thursday, kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. That's right, free. Get a huge 18-inch pizza, a pitcher of soda or beer, and 100 game room credits for just $44.99. The pizza easily feeds a family of 4. Coaches, bring in your soccer, baseball, and basketball team. It's super affordable team bonding. Your teenagers will really love the Mine Shaft. Take your kids to the Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh for hours of cool and comfortable fun. Kids menu starts at $3.99. Big food, big fun. The game room opens at 12 noon today. Just walk in, mineshaftRestaurant.com.
No matter what we were doing, the Brewer game was always on. Kind of the background of my childhood. I wore number 17.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that was my number.
Yep. This is my friend Jim Gantner. Jim was always my favorite player. We did Jim's roof up in Eden.
Right. The great job he does on homes. Most important is honesty, integrity, and doing a great job.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Here's why you can feel confident in choosing Less's Glass to fabricate and install your new shower door or glass bath enclosure. For over 40 years, we've done thousands of them. And when you want a new and modern aesthetic added to your bathroom, you want a crew with experience behind it. We fabricate new shower doors or bath enclosures to fit any space of your bathroom, all done in-house. And that's great for quality control. It could be a neo-angle shower stall, a corner enclosure, a bypass for your tub or shower, or a heavy 3/8-inch all-glass enclosure. Any idea you have, framed or frameless, we can handle it. And when you work with a family-owned company, the buck stops here, because we're not satisfied until you are. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Time for our weekly check-in with Scott McFarland, Chief Washington Correspondent for the Midas Touch, 90s R&B aficionado. I saw a smile on his face on our video stream here. Jessica, you were smiling. I have no idea what this is, but I'm guessing our friend Scott does.
Well, why were you smiling, Scott?
The double entendres in this song are out of control. This is "I Want to Be Your House Cleaner, Girl."
Okay.
And they're not talking about doing laundry. I mean, it's a tough one, guy.
And I was afraid people are going to be turning on the radio and thinking, is this 10 o'clock at night on
we
a
have-
Friday?
we have
Where
flipped
are we
formats
headed
here.
right now? That's what I was
This is a 1 a.m. song,
Yeah.
Jess. We ain't ready for 10 p.m.
Yeah, good
You
stuff.
might be right.
Scott joining us from the nation's capital, as he always does. We're about a week away from our primary election here, Scott. So the race to become governor in the state of Wisconsin is certainly on. I know it is primary season across the country, but Wisconsin is on deck. How closely is the governor's race here in the state of Wisconsin being monitored in the nation's capital?
Oh boy, we are obsessed with it here. Not because Washington rises and falls with how the state administers its services in Wisconsin, though I care about that. It looks like a proxy war over a much bigger issue that can be instructive for the rest of this election and more instructive for the 2028 presidential election. The Wisconsin Democratic gubernatorial primary, along with that thing in Michigan last night where they had their Democratic Senate primary, is an open-ended question Democrats are going to have to answer. Do they want to plug into this electricity going through untraditional candidates and find a way to channel it? Or do they want to try to resist it, fight it, and go with things that are more traditional and more electable? As I said on CNN last night, I think there's an anti-establishment era that is forming. Not year, not moment. Anybody tied to institutions is getting distrust from voters, from young people. It's why we're seeing all this distrust young people have in academia, in AI, in corporations, in party leadership, in infrastructure, in some legacy media. There's a distrust of institutions right now, and I think the Wisconsin gubernatorial primary is showing that for everyone to see.
I'm curious, too, as you look at races across the country, what you think about this. Now, we've had a lot of changes on the Democratic side in the gubernatorial race here in Wisconsin, but the latest Marquette Law School poll showed that 34% of primary voters remain undecided right now. August 11th. It's the 5th. That's the primary. It's coming up. It's about time to vote.
Yeah, it's a symptom of a couple things. First of all, it's a really late primary in Wisconsin. We've had the really late primaries for a while. It kind of kneecaps candidates with a very short runway between now and November. So once these primary voters decide, candidates have very little time to absorb the message and come up with a game plan for November. But I'm not surprised because we're in a destabilized political moment. People don't like what the party leadership wants them to like, so they can't ordain candidates in advance the way they have for many decades throughout our whole lifetime. It's a very uncertain moment. Polling's going to be bad because of the dynamic I just described. In Michigan last night, the poll was way off. They thought this Abdul al-Sayed was going to win by 15 points. He won by about 15 votes. I mean, the thing was razor thin, and that's a symptom of a destabilized political moment. We get to enjoy our Wisconsin primaries in a destabilized political moment in a few days.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, the Marquette Law School poll is highly thought of, and not just here in Wisconsin, but across the country.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, and we've talked to the director here very recently, too, when you talk about polls, if you're calling people, a lot of times, if you get a number, you don't know who it is, you're not picking it up. If you get an email and it says to click on this link, how many times have we been told not to click on the link, or a text, too? So I think polling is just hard, very hard in 2026.
Never been more difficult, but here's what complicates it further. The technological stuff is a big problem, Jess, like a big problem. But the other problem is we don't know what the voter constituency is going to be. The reason why Democrats are bullish on their frontrunner in the gubernatorial primary is because they think she can attract non-voters to become voters, people who never have turned out before or rarely turn out. You know who did that really well 10 years ago? Trump. When he won Wisconsin in 2016, there were a lot of people who'd never voted before who came out because he's an untraditional change candidate. That happened last night in Michigan. It happened in Colorado a few weeks ago. It happened in New York City a few weeks ago, where you had these Democratic socialist candidates who are easy to malign politically for Republicans, but they bring out people who don't vote otherwise. That's Trump's secret sauce. It's why he won Wisconsin twice. People who'd never vote otherwise came to vote for him. That's the argument, the bull argument for what Wisconsin Democrats may be poised to do. The bear argument is we don't know how well Republicans can mechanize against that, but they've shown they love to sink their teeth into that Thanksgiving quote, don't they?
It is interesting. So Tom Tiffany, who is the presumptive Republican nominee, is essentially running unopposed here on his side. As soon as the primary debate ended about a week ago, he went right after Francesca Hong. According to the poll, she is the leader among all those in the running for the Democratic ticket. He's attacked her and nobody else. He is clearly going after the perceived frontrunner, according to polling, and the one who has sort of put herself out there in I guess using your words here, sort of anti-establishment, on the far fringes of what Democrats are. The other one's maybe a little bit more neutral or traditional, but they have gone after her rather hard in some of their press releases.
It's instructive in two ways, Greg. It leads me to believe they think she's going to win. Let's start the attacking early. They're the betting money's on her, so they're going to start betting. The second thing is, it's a great way to elevate a Democratic candidate in a primary, have a Republican criticize her. That's a great way to mobilize Democratic turnout in her favor. Maybe she's the preferred candidate of Congressman Tiffany. This has down-ballot impacts. The way she would perform or Congressman Tiffany performs impacts the very competitive Southwest Wisconsin congressional race that everybody here is obsessed with. The potential that Congressman Brian Stile of Wisconsin may have a competitive race. Down ballot impacts are not trivial. But at the same time, I'm looking at the bigger picture. You have to look beyond just the state lines and this particular battle for Congress. Democrats have to decide by 2028 if they want to go anti-establishment or institutionalist with their candidate, their nominee to win the presidency. You can think of all those Main Street candidates who are very institutional, seem very electable. Then you could think of the flamethrowers who want to change things dramatically. Which direction do they want to go in? November may give them the best roadmap in Wisconsin and in Michigan.
Scott, real quickly, before we let you go here, President Trump says the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened soon, which I feel like we've heard this many times over now, and that a lack of cooperation from Iran would result in a new set of attacks on Iran. How are lawmakers on Capitol Hill responding to this lack of a clear endgame? Because a lot of the public is getting tired of it and wants us to get out.
Congress is exhausted with it. Congress has to pay for this thing soon, so that's going to be a problem because they're exhausted with it. And I'll be efficient, I promise. But let me give you an old campy reference. Remember the old TV show Three's Company?
Oh, yes.
Same damn story arc every episode. Some misunderstanding, somebody overheard something wrong, all kind of drama ensues, and Mr. Roper wraps it up. This Iran thing is like Three's Company. It's the same story arc every week. We're going to have a deal. Deal's coming. It'll come tomorrow. It'll come next week. It never really comes. I think people are tiring of the repetition of the storyline, the white noise of all this, but it is a political problem for Trump in the elections, and they're going to need $100 billion for this war. Somebody's got to say yes to that in Washington.
I always preferred Mr. Furley over Mr. Roper, but that's neither here nor there.
Ralph Furley.
We could have a long debate on that next week. Pencil it in. We're talking about it next week.
Larry
I love
Dallas,
that argument.
Jack Tripper.
Jack Tripper, yes. It's a lot of fun on
Larry
Three's Company.
Dallas. Nice, Jess.
That's a
nice.
good pull. Hey, we're going to be at the Wisconsin State Fair next week, Scott, actually beginning tomorrow, but next time we talk to you, they are unveiling this 230-foot tall Ferris wheel. It's being dubbed the America 250 wheel. Ooh. So there is a presidential theme. So the wheel features 45 gondolas, each one dedicated to the 45 presidents that have served the United States. I'm all for hopping in the cart of Grover Cleveland. I don't know if you have a favorite, if you want to hop into Teddy Roosevelt or maybe avoid a president, but you get your pick.
If I understand it correctly, there's only one Grover Cleveland cart because there's 45 on the wheel.
Yes,
that is
exactly.
correct. Yes.
Or we could both join one of Grover Cleveland's cars. I understand. I got you.
It might get hot in there. Nellie's playing that night.
That's a very good point. Scott, we will check in with you next week. Always good to connect, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you both.
It is 12:57. News coming up.
If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burghardt Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service,
You can't beat Burghardt.
Well, it's a win fest like no other, and it's only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. How about this? Through September, you can play with your Potawatomi Rewards card. You'll start stacking entries, and all those monthly promo entries will count toward the finale drawings on Friday, September 25th. Cars, vacations, free play, cash, all up for grabs for you. Again, only at Potawatomi. Got to be a rewards member to play and over the age of 21. You can sign up for that rewards card at Potawatomi. It's free. Sign up and play. More information is online.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screaming Sicilian
Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Capri Communities presents Golden Memories from the Wisconsin State Fair.
My name is Michael Stolskoff. My first date with my wife was at State Fair. We were 17. We were high school sweethearts. Over the years, we got married, had children, and it was a family tradition ever since. We'd always go on the first Thursday. The last Sunday, we'd be here before 9, have a cream puff and omelet at the egg building, and we wouldn't leave until the fireworks came at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Join Capri Communities at the Wisconsin State Fair Monday, August 10th for Senior Day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun and extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $250 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
There's no place like home, and nothing like Brewers baseball.
0-2 pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 1:03.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 5th. Your top story, more protesters arrested at a Madison intersection.
I'm Jessica Ty. The latest viral outbreak breaks a record.
Well, most of the rain on the radar is well to the north. Think central Wisconsin, and a good batch of it over Lake Michigan as well. More on the horizon. It's coming from Iowa and areas to the south and west. It could impact our commute, maybe a little round of showers this evening, but by no means a washout today. It looked like that was in the cards, potentially, earlier in the week. High 77 degrees, overnight low 68, clearing skies eventually on Thursday with a high of 80. It's 74 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 103. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, 6 people arrested as Madison police continue to manage protesters following a deadly police shooting. Williamson Street and East Washington Avenue back open following overnight protests that turned violent. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway.
It is not acceptable for streets to be closed on a permanent basis. We need to be able to keep traffic flowing and allow people to access their homes and businesses so that they do not become in a situation where they're losing income and have to lose their homes.
This is the intersection where 38-year-old Corey Ruiz was shot by police in July. The Department of Criminal Investigations is leading the review of that incident.
Well, this is a bizarre story that oddly is going to sound familiar to many of our fans here in southeastern Wisconsin. A woman is charged with stealing a Pleasant Prairie ambulance while naked.
You got food in there?
Audio courtesy of Broadcastify after the woman took control of the vehicle's dispatch radio. 36-year-old Emily Fair was found in the ambulance shortly after 1:30 in the morning on Tuesday, quote, completely unclothed. She then told officers that she was a firefighter who was allowed to be driving the vehicle. Police retrieved her clothing from the back of the truck before taking her into custody. Her bond was set at just $200. Her attorney has ordered a competency hearing. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Seamless transition to the CDC, which has widened its probe into a cyclosporiasis outbreak tied to iceberg lettuce from central Mexico. After detecting cases in 6 additional states, that raises the total to 15 states. News Nation's Alex Capriello.
Nearly every single state in our country has at least one confirmed case. Also, just within the last 24 hours, 2 deaths in Michigan have been linked to cyclosporiasis. They're the first ones to be announced. Dying from this parasite is rare, and health officials say the two had underlying health conditions that put them at a greater risk of intestinal illness and dehydration. The CDC's latest tally shows around 18,000 either confirmed or suspected cases.
Wait, did she take her clothes off in the ambulance, or did she get into the ambulance naked? I'm going back to the other story because that just had a lot of questions.
You just gave me whiplash there. But I said that's going to sound oddly familiar to our fans because we had the man who was naked in the stolen ambulance.
Yes.
I had to do a double take. And wait,
I'm
what?
sure many people
This is
did a double
new one?
take.
This is another one? Okay.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Mixed results continue today. The Dow is surging. Another strong day here, up 500 points at 54,572. NASDAQ a little off today, down about 113 at 26,471. And the S&P modest gains this afternoon, up about 10 points. Good day for NVIDIA, up about 9. Google shares are down about 13. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Speaking of Google, they're doing some AI training down in Chicago. We'll have more details on that coming up. Also, sports, traffic, and weather. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 106.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to just live with and accept? Do not. I'm Julia Fellow with WTMJ. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to head to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens Family Chiropractic is now offering soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment. It helps your body repair itself naturally. I'm getting that done on my lower back. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, and activates your own body's repair cells to target pain at its source. If you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, do not wait another day. For a limited time, your first soft wave treatment is just $57. This is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you get back to the things you love, like it did for me. Head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I'm torn on this because I don't know if I want to see another quarterback wearing number 4 or number 12 or number 15.
See the world from his perspective.
I think you'd ever have to get to where it'd be like pi, 3.14 or anything like that.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
That's like back in the old days when I would walk on at Wisconsin, you got the issued gear and it was number 140. Kind of let you know where you're at.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Lefty Kyle Harrison returns to the mound tonight against 2025 Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Paul Skeens and the Pirates. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. Newly acquired starter Dustin May will make his Brewers debut in the series finale on Thursday.
I mean, being able to come to a team that's leading the division by a lot, very good ball club, and got a really good chance to go to the playoffs and make a run. I'm very, very thrilled to be a part of it.
Brewers are the only team in baseball with 70 wins. They begin the day with a 5.5-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Packers linebacker Micah Parsons says he's right where he needs to be in his recovery from a torn ACL and torn meniscus. Parsons is targeting a return to action in Week 6 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it's very realistic. At the same time as in these next 10 weeks, 10, 12 weeks from now, we got to do our part to make it possible. But, it's not off the board, but we got to put the work in.
Parsons says he's back to running and hopes to begin making cuts on the field in the next 6 weeks.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I do have some good news for you. It looks like the crashes that we were dealing with earlier have since cleared. I do still see DOT is still reporting this one down in Kenosha County on the ramp from Wisconsin 50 to 4194 South. But the last time I looked at that one, the camera was in a new spot and was not showing the crash. I'm going to pull it up now. Yeah, I think that's possible that one has cleared. Feel free to text in if you happen to go by and you see it has not cleared. I am seeing some significant slowing today on 4145 South. It is getting slower and slower as we go here. It looks like Good Hope Road, once you hit Good Hope Road and start moving south, that's when you're really going to hit the brakes. It will clear up right around Burleigh. And then if you're going 4145 north, say like by Meyer and the Whole Foods Market there, it's a little slow, but it clears up before Capitol Drive. Other than that, just a couple of disabled vehicles downing the system.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible throughout the day and night. High 76. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain about 60%. Overnight low in the low 60s. Thursday looks pretty good. Clouds early, then clearing skies and a high of 80 degrees. Friday looking a little more warm and a little more humid with a high of 84. Saturday's high 88 degrees inland with a chance of rain. It's 75 degrees in Milwaukee. Cloudy skies at 111.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Hope to see you at the Wisconsin State Fair tomorrow and Friday and all of next week. I know they did the cream puff thing today. Steve and Kristen were out there with the 306 packs of cream puffs being given out. Some did make their way back to our studios, which I thought was great. But yes, it's the unofficial kickoff to the Wisconsin State Fair, those free cream puffs.
It is so fun to be out there. We were out there last year, and people just have the biggest smiles because they're getting free cream puffs, and they can't wait to dig into them. Sometimes they take them to their coworkers and share them. Did you have one?
I had a portion of one. I'm at a point in my life where I can't do the full cream puff. I got to share. I got to go halvesies. And those things aren't really easy to cut, but I was able to make it work.
You could do the little twist method and then just take off half so you've still got some of the yummy stuff on one half, some of the yummy stuff over here, and then hand it to your coworker.
I'm going to petition for, instead of 6, or if you want to do 6, that's great, but then how about 24 smaller ones, right? Just the little poppers, little popper
nice.
Cream puffs.
Yeah.
Maybe a little variety. I'd go that route. It is 112.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, and happening now, NASA and SpaceX officials are searching for the piece of a rocket they believe smashed into the moon this morning.
Astronomers say the rocket had dumped its remaining fuel and could not be controlled. Experts say based on mathematical calculations, the crash likely happened near the Einstein crater, creating an impact crater only visible up close. But they're still working on getting visual confirmation. NASA says it will use its Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter to try and spot the crater, but that could take time.
ABC's Rena Roy, though the crash would be an accident, scientists and sky gazers alike are saying this is an exciting chance to learn more about the moon. I guess you could call it lunar litter.
I like the title.
They do. I think they call it that from time to time.
I absolutely enjoy that title. Absolutely. Well, even though the wildfires are starting to die down in Washington State, the smoke remains a big-time concern. Some of the worst air quality in the world right now in Washington State and areas to the south. ABC News meteorologist Samara Theodore.
We are anticipating some of the heaviest extreme wildfire smoke to be situated just north of Spokane. And then this does make its way, meandering all the way south into Utah, Richfield, Utah, seeing some very heavy smoke as well. So smoke is a real issue out there.
So more than 541,000 acres have burned across Washington State from these fires. But 24 hours ago, this was 0% contained. So they are seeing some signs of fighting this thing, and the winds have died down a little bit. A little more cloud coverage is really helping that. But you think about the wildfire smoke that we endured here in the States that came all the way down from Canada. It's a similar effect right now in Washington, making it all the way down to Utah. with the wildfire smoke.
Number 3, another foodborne illness forces changes to the menu at a major fast food chain. ABC's Jim Ryan.
First, it was cyclosporiasis linked to lettuce at Taco Bell. Now, Chipotle Mexican Grill has removed jalapenos from its restaurants nationwide after a salmonella outbreak in Minnesota sickened more than 100 people. Investigations are going on in other states where the peppers might have been distributed.
While Chipotle is the first restaurant to be named, investigators believe the spread has impacted other restaurants as well. The case count is expected to go up too. Don't be surprised if there's an update to this story soon.
Yeah, 1:15 here on WTMJ.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
Siding Unlimited is truly siding and a whole lot more. I've been telling you for over a decade. The best installers of high-quality products that go on your house, on the exterior, right there at Siding Unlimited. All in one package deal. The best from Pella Windows, right there at Siding Unlimited. LP Smart Side Siding, the best in roofing shingles, the best indoors. Everything for you. And the exterior of your home is located at Siding Unlimited. Check out their showroom. You'll see some of these products on display. Get a good idea for how it would look if installed at your place. And then let Siding Unlimited take it from there. Incredible products, incredible installation teams. That's what separates Siding Unlimited from the rest. Family-owned business right here in southeastern Wisconsin, ready to go to work for you. Check out sidingunlimited.com.
Some days you watch the game. On WTMJ Day, you live it.
Back at the track.
Fire up the grill and join the WTMJ team on August 29th, or we watch the crew deliver the highlights.
We are all witnesses.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Big Fish Contracting, Woodman's, and Left's Lucky Town.
Would you like fries with that?
We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
In Wisconsin, we know the value of a great home team. It's people who know the field, show up, and play for us. That's what you get with Wisconsin's community health plans. They understand the providers, the local needs, and are committed to helping families, businesses, and communities thrive. Your health, your community, your plan. Learn more at wicommunityhealthplans.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Association of Health Plans.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Jacob Montesano with your 5-day storm team forecast. For tonight, we're going to see some lingering showers and isolated storms. Then later in the night, we should be dry with lows in the 60s. Then for Thursday, mostly cloudy, small chance of a light sprinkle, otherwise pretty dry, highs in the upper 70s. Then we're looking at lower 80s for Friday with sunny skies. Saturday, we'll see partly cloudy skies with highs in the middle 80s. And then as we get towards the end of the weekend, we are going to continue to see these high temperatures in the 80s for Sunday, with storms returning for the beginning of next work week. You can always find the latest updates at tmj4.com. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano.
74 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 118.
Educators from across the country are converging on Chicago this week to get some training on artificial intelligence. Workshops at Google's Chicago headquarters will focus on how to use AI responsibly without replacing critical thinking or creativity in the classroom. A former public school teacher is leading that training.
If AI is going to be prevalent in their careers and in their lives as adults, school is the best place to introduce it to them in a safe, secure, responsible way to understand how to use AI with intentionality and to improve opportunities for them.
Those workshops will also focus on using AI ethically. Meanwhile, this is pretty cool. I'm just checking this out right now. Billionaire Mark Cuban wants artificial intelligence to be more accessible and understandable to high school kids. So, this is through the Mark Cuban Foundation. High schoolers can take part in a free AI boot camp. This is in numerous states, and I just looked. It includes Wisconsin. This is happening this fall. Looks like October 31st, November 7th, and November 14th. Locations TBD, because I clicked on Wisconsin. I'm like, okay, where's this going to be? They don't list that yet. It does say Waukesha and Milwaukee, but where exactly, I don't know. I did notice it says partner with us, and there's a spot where you can click on down and it says host a boot camp. So they might be looking for groups to host these boot camps yet, but they are planning to have them in Waukesha and Milwaukee. News Nation's James Sears has some of the details on the boot camp overall.
The Mark Cuban Foundation and a youth nonprofit are putting on the camp. Students will get a crash course in artificial intelligence that by the end will give them the ability to use AI to solve real-world problems. They'll learn how to use generative AI and machine learning in any future job field, from healthcare to business, sports, and the arts, also the ethical implications of AI.
So I was checking out what students will learn at the boot camp. It says, get future ready, no coding experience required. Sometimes you think about coding, then people are like, oh gosh, I don't know anything about coding. Maybe I shouldn't join. Maybe I shouldn't sign up. Nope, you don't need that. You're going to learn the skills that they say matter. And then you can learn from the pros too. I wonder if Mark Cuban himself might pop up at some of these boot camps.
It is interesting stuff. Sometimes I feel like with technology, and especially this space, maybe the kids should be teaching the adults, but nonetheless, it's a different story for another time. They are adamant about this. You can't just walk in off the street, right? You got to get signed up, got to get registered, bring your own device, and they'll walk you through the paces. But it is a mechanism to make sure you're a little bit more AI aware beyond just the basics. And to me, the basics are ChatGPT, but that is just scratching the surface of what you can do with AI to make your life easier. We've seen the bad side of this too, unfortunately, and hopefully technology allows us to get on the better side of that as this rapidly evolves. But try to get more people in the know on what this is. That is, it's here whether you like it or not, right? So is it better to be in the know, or is it better to eschew it and put it to the side? Well, Google thinks you should be in the know.
Well, and heads up, too, if you are the parent of a student who you think, hey, this would be great for that student, the Mark Cuban AI Boot Camp looks like applications close. They've got a ticker right there on their website. Applications close in 56 days, so that would be September 30th.
Wouldn't just do the coding for you, right? If you don't know anything about coding, you don't need to. AI could probably just do it for you.
You hear that. You hear AI is doing a lot of coding these days and creating apps for people, creating businesses for people. It's wild.
121 here on WTMJ. WTMJ meteorologist Lauren Larson joins us coming up in about 15 minutes. So much for the washout. Thought today was going to be multiple rounds of rain. I guess it could come back here in the later evening hours. We'll get a better sense of timing with Lauren coming up in about 15 minutes.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
Well, if you've been hurt in an accident, the folks at Gruber are there for you. They know it can really flip your world upside down. So Gruber focuses on the legal aspect while you focus on healing. Something they've been doing for 40 years here in the state of Wisconsin. This family-run business, but a large and powerful team of attorneys ready to fight your legal battle. You focus on healing, let Gruber handle the rest. No fee or cost to call Gruber, no cost to consult or retain their firm. In fact, never a fee with Gruber until they win your case, something they've been doing for 4 decades. Results that speak for themselves and giving back to the community. That's Gruber in a nutshell, locally known and nationally recognized. Visit gruberlaw-law.com. That's gruber-law.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, learn about what they can do for you. Learn what they do in the community each and every year. Check out Gruber online or give a call to 414-276-6666.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, quick update for you here, and I have to say thank you to a few of our fans who wrote in, because we're talking about Rhode Island, and maybe Wisconsin would be the next state to do this because it was a creative way to get people to come in and donate blood during this crisis that we're having. And they were giving away a pint for a pint. So you come in, you give a pint of blood, and then you get a voucher for a pint of beer. Well, a couple of you knew that that is happening right now in Wisconsin. In fact, one of our fans wrote in and sent a picture, texted in a picture of their voucher. So Versity here in our area is doing a pint for a pint. I thought it was very Wisconsin.
I love it, right? Well, I guess in Wisconsin you can go two ways with that. A pint of beer or maybe a pint of custard or something like that. But pick whatever path you'd like. So, yeah, it must be similar, right? Where they partner with a number of local breweries and you take that voucher to one of those participating breweries and you get yourself a pint of beer sometime after you've donated that pint of blood.
So it's possible that they just ended this, but it looks like some of our fans still have the vouchers and haven't turned them in yet. But I just pulled up Versity's website and it says when you donate blood at a donor center or participate in community blood drive, July 7th through the 31st, you'll receive a coupon for a free pint of beer redeemable at one of our partner breweries. And yeah, you can see them. You've got a ton of them down here. Turtle Stack Brewery. It looks like you got Raised Grain Brewery, Lakefront Brewery, Indeed Brewing, Eagle Park Brewing. What a smart idea.
Yeah, there's some great ones here in local in southeastern Wisconsin. The Rhode Island contest is just underway. It ends at the end of August, but it's a brilliant idea. And as you mentioned, we get these notices every year around this time about the critical shortage of blood. And the summer months contribute to that. There's a number of reasons why people may not be able to donate blood. Could be that they're sick on their own, right? The winter months and cold and flu season, that usually leads to a decrease at a time when people need it the most. Summer months when families are out traveling and, donating blood isn't just top of mind. It's not part of your weekly routine because you're in the summer months juggling 10, 12 different things.
Yeah, you've had the outbreaks across the country due to food. You had the lettuce. Now we've got jalapenos, which... Did I do that jalapeno story?
Yeah. Chipotle's, they're out with jalapenos right now.
Like I didn't. But yeah, you got the jalapenos now at Chipotle, and it's likely going to be more restaurants that we see. So, I mean, if you get hit with one of those things, you're not going in to donate blood. You're just trying to get healthy yourself. So, yeah, this is a great idea. Looks like Versity was involved in it, too, for a short time. Give blood, save lives, raise a glass.
We're coming up on 1:30 here on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And also know we are on YouTube, so you can watch our radio program every day on YouTube. Find clips from previous shows and watch us live.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You've heard me talking about our incredible Croatia and Slovenia adventure in fall of 2027. I knew it'd be popular, but even I was surprised when it sold out so fast. The good news, there's still an opportunity to experience this same custom itinerary created for WTMJ listeners by my favorite travel company, Colette. I won't be on the departure, but it's an unforgettable itinerary, a 7-night cruise on a chartered small ship, fairy tale cities, picture-perfect islands, the Adriatic and Dalmatian coast. It's incredible. Cobblestone streets, crystal waters. Colette handles all the details, flights, meals, hotels, local experiences, a full-time guide with you from start to finish. There are only 18 cabins on the ship. Makes it special, but space is limited. Text Croatia to 855-616-1620 for all the info, including pricing.
Let me show you the world. Come away with me.
CROATIA to 855-616-1620. Croatia 2027.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
Score big at the International Autos Group in Milwaukee and save up to $25,000 on an exceptional lineup featuring Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and Hyundai. Or get rare 0% financing for 60 months and make no payments for 90 days. Get the service you deserve at a price you'll love at the International Autos Group or at iamilwaukee.com, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Offers on select new models with approved credit. Savings off MSRP.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 5th. Your top story, looking to block Wisconsin's online sports betting law.
I'm Jessica Ty. Is it discriminatory to fill out a paper ballot?
Rounds of rain still possible today and this evening. Mostly cloudy, high of 74 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, who is waiting for a full Senate vote on his nomination to become permanent AG, weighed in on the president's criticism over U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro after she dropped vandalism charges related to the torn reflecting pool liner at the Lincoln Memorial. Blanche did not address the specific case, but defended Pirro's jobs in the nation's capital.
Judge Pirro is doing a great job, and our city, Washington, D.C., is a lot safer in no small part to her effort and the prosecutor's efforts that she works with.
President Trump says a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz is close without offering details if the U.S. and Iran are holding talks. Iranian officials say they're in talks with Oman on a joint agreement on controlling ship traffic. Russia carried out missile and drone attacks in Ukraine's capital, killing at least 17 in Kyiv. Ukraine's President Zelensky now calling for allies to help against Russia's aggression. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A conservative legal group is asking a judge to block Wisconsin's new online sports betting law before it takes effect.
The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty filed the lawsuit, arguing the law violates the state constitution's prohibition on expanding gambling without voter approval. The suit also claims the plan violates the U.S. Constitution by giving Wisconsin's tribes exclusive rights to operate online sports betting. Supporters of the law argue it's constitutional because all bets would be processed through servers located on tribal land. Governor Tony Evers signed the measure back in April, and the state's 11 federally recognized tribes have urged him to move forward with implementation. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin. A Wisconsin judge rules our state's paper absentee ballots discriminate against disabled voters. The Dane County judge stopped short of requiring electronic voting, but agreed with disabled voters that forcing them to complete and return a paper ballot violated their rights to independence and privacy protections under the Americans with Disabilities Act. There was no immediate solution provided to accommodate for those voting in the August partisan primary coming up next week. Wisconsin law allows absentee ballots to be emailed only to military and overseas voters from Wisconsin.
Muslim leader Salah Sarsour returning to Chicago for his third federal immigration hearing. Sarsour did not testify in court on Tuesday. Attorney Samuel Cole is one of his representatives.
It was clear that their case evaporated, that what they've been alleging is just simply not true, and it's just not fair to put Mr. Sarsour through that when there's no need because the government's case is so weak.
Attorney Jawad Boulis was called to the stand on Tuesday. He represented Sarsour during the 1990 Israeli military court conviction. The government is expected to cross-examine Boulis on September 14th.
A Rock County correctional officer is charged with sexual assault after engaging in a romantic relationship with an inmate.
28-year-old Jacob Struley was arrested Tuesday for allegedly engaging with an inmate who was on electronic monitoring. He has been charged with second-degree sexual assault and is due back in court Thursday. Struley is no longer employed with the sheriff's office. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
And before the first fairgoer steps onto a ride, multiple inspections must be completed.
The Wisconsin State Fair says every one of its 38 rides is checked by state inspectors, a third-party inspection company, and ride operators themselves before and during the fair. State Fair CEO Sherry Black tells WTMJ.
It's really a partnership between several of our entities. Having that third-party inspector that comes in, we are able to hire the best in the field. We always bring in very knowledgeable and reputable inspectors.
Black says ride operators also complete inspection checklists every morning before opening, while third-party inspectors remain on site throughout the 11-day fair. At the Wisconsin State Fair, Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Nothing like the giant slide at the Wisconsin State Fair.
You got to put wax on that thing every year. Sherry Black talked about that in the morning show. You got to wax it up, and then you have to figure out, is it too much wax? Am I going to go too fast here and end up at the Expo Center when I fly off that thing?
When's the last time you took a ride on the slide?
2 years ago with my daughters.
Oh, nice.
It was great.
I went up last year, and I remember thinking it seemed like it took more effort to get up all those stairs than it used to. Still fun, though. Still fun.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:35.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on Old Dutch Tortilla, Crunch, or Ripples chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 8-ounce selected varieties, Essential Everyday Shredded or Chunk Cheese, 2 for $4. Whole seedless watermelon, $3.99. Fresh 85% lean ground beef, $4.99 a pound.
It's a long fly ball.
What?
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here? Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Outstanding. As we've grown tremendously and you guys have still been able to meet our needs each step of our growth, that's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Packers linebacker Micah Parsons believes a return to action in Week 6 against the Cowboys is realistic. Parsons continues to rehab a torn ACL and torn meniscus.
People are worried about the knee. They should be worried about how I'm going to play when I get back. The anger, the frustration, the things that I'm going to have to let out because, you know, how long it's been since I played. So I think that's what people should really worry about, like, how great is Micah going to be when he gets back?
Packers begin the preseason a week from tomorrow against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Brewers begin the day with a 5.5-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Manager Pat Murphy asking fans to support Christian Yelich through his struggles at the plate. Yelich hitting just 190 since the All-Star break.
Let's not forget what he's done. And that doesn't give him the grace to not, if he's in the lineup, he's got to perform, and he will. We can't start piling on when this guy's done a lot. He deserves the respect, and hopefully our fans understand that. If we're going to thread the needle, we need Yelly.
Lefty Kyle Harrison takes the mound tonight for the Brewers. Coverage of Game 3 of the series gets underway at 6:05.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We're looking pretty good right now. Now, if you are in our construction zone and you're going very slow, you're going, what? This is good? What I mean is, yes, we do have our construction areas that have the slowing, but that's nothing out of the norm. We have no crashes. The few crashes that we had earlier have cleared. And just a couple of disabled vehicles that really aren't causing a problem. There's one out in the Delafield area. I-94 East beyond the ramp from County C, right shoulder is blocked there. And then up closer to the Menominee Falls area, 4145 North, very close to the ramp from 145, right shoulder is blocked. But other than that, we're doing okay.
I like weather, and I like talking to Lauren Larson. That's what makes this my favorite segment of the day so far. TMJ4 meteorologist joining us from the Weather Center. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, guys. Happy Wednesday.
I thought you were going to be a sports reporter here. I saw you with Carly Murata. You were talking football, right? You're out talking about humid conditions for the start of football practice. Kind of a dual role for you.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It's so fun to be out there and do kind of that team coverage thing. Do I know anything about high school football? Absolutely not. But it was very fun to watch Carly kind of talk to the players, talk to the coaches, get down on the field, watch her film the drills and stuff. It was fun to be there, but it was really sticky.
Hey, you know how to cheer for your favorite team.
Yes.
And that's sometimes what matters the most. You're a great cheerleader. As we talk about the weather here, I know a lot of people are preparing for rain. There's rounds of rain today. What's coming up in a couple of minutes here, and what's next?
Yeah, this is interesting, but also kind of a frustrating forecast because the models last night had us looking completely washed out at 8 o'clock here this morning. And obviously that didn't happen. There was a little bit of rain out there, but really not a lot that we're seeing filling up those rain gauges this morning up to this point. I want to say that has definitely kind of taken some of the confidence away from these computer models here this afternoon and evening. I don't think we have a complete washout evening in store for us. But that's not to say we're going to stay completely dry. I expect more showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, maybe a brief downpour, really anywhere in southeast Wisconsin. The computer model I was looking at here at noon showed Milwaukee getting about 1/3 of an inch of rain later today. I think 1/3 is really just hitting that median. We might see nothing if those storms move around us. We might see more than a 1/2 inch if we do kind of have that one downpour linger over downtown. It is a tricky thing, but I will say keep a close eye on the radar. Keep your umbrella and your rain jacket handy throughout the rest of the day. It may be a soggy drive home from work, but for right now, timing, I think somewhere between 4 and 7 o'clock tonight.
So, Lauren, a pretty big glob of stuff on the radar here. I know that's the official meteorologist term, glob of stuff. It's western Illinois, eastern Iowa, kind of that Davenport area. Is that what you're watching to see if it dissolves or maybe splits and goes around us?
Yeah, yes, we are keeping an eye on that. But I don't think that that's going to dissolve before it gets here. That's kind of draped along that front, which is what we've been talking about for the past couple of days, bringing us that weather. I just think that rain is maybe overperforming and kind of taking some of the moisture, taking some of the energy. I will say with that, we're not seeing severe weather. I watched a few warnings earlier, but we're clear for severe weather here tonight in southeast Wisconsin, and there's really only a marginal risk for that line of storms farther south.
Well, that is great. And we've got the countdown to the 2026 Wisconsin State Fair, 20 hours, 17 minutes, 22 seconds. Lauren, a lot of people want to know what is it going to be like tomorrow as they go. First day is always a big day. It's usually pretty busy.
Yeah. Before we talk about that, though, I do want to say I saw you guys' Instagram reel about cream puffs, and I didn't realize it was such a controversial thing.
Oh, yeah.
I thought everyone liked cream puff. I thought everyone liked them.
A lot of people think, I feel like you have this camp that loves the cream puff, and then you've got this camp that thinks they're way overrated. So you love them, obviously, if you were surprised.
Yes. I was sent down here for the first day of the fair for the morning show, the 2 summers that I worked in Green Bay. And that was the one thing I had to try and, bring my opinion, bring some cream puffs back to Northeast Wisconsin. And I think they're delicious.
Well, they taste good. Now, my thing is that I wish they could do a smaller version, right? I mean, you get a large soda or a medium soda. Can you do the large cream puff? So instead of getting 6, can you buy 24 like little popper-sized ones, right? Smaller, you take into the office, nobody feels guilty, everybody has a little taste, but they don't have to overindulge.
Have you shared this idea with the powers?
Well, not
Or do you just-
specifically. I guess I should.
Okay.
Maybe Sherry Black is listening right now, or maybe she's turning us off after we mention that. One or the other.
Tomorrow. We'll pitch it tomorrow. We'll be out there.
Yes, no, it's a good point. I like a little variety. That's all. It just is something for everybody.
I thought you were going to say when you said the Instagram video in State Fair. So we had this video, and it's still out there if you want to check it out on our social media feeds. But the crew was asking us what was our must-have for, what was it?
Tailgate.
Yeah, tailgating. That's right. And Greg said, was it nutterd? What did you say?
Yeah, mustard. It's
Mustard.
It's a condiment that doesn't exist.
Do you know what
I did
mustard
see
is?
this.
Yeah, see, so I thought for sure you were going to say, okay, I've got to ask you about this, Greg. What is mustard?
Yeah.
I thought because we're
He
both
said, if you know, you know. And I didn't know.
Yeah, that's okay. Nobody knows because it doesn't exist. I thought that'd be funny.
Now we know.
Yeah.
It's bogus. Nutter.
Lauren is learning a lot about me. We've never met officially, like face to face, and I feel like I've disappointed her over these last few months.
No, I'm not disappointed, but I will give you the State Fair forecast. Not disappointing. I think it just will feel like an average early August day tomorrow. A little bit humid, temperatures, making it to the mid to upper 70s, so really not that hot. We'll be fighting through the clouds. I think later in the evening we'll definitely see some more sunshine, but clouds decreasing throughout the day on Thursday. Friday, I feel will be the hottest day. Our temperatures are in the low 80s. We'll see mostly sunny skies, and our dew points are climbing, so feeling very humid and sticky. Same story for Saturday. I don't think we'll see perfect sun on Saturday as we keep an eye out for maybe a few pop-up showers or thunderstorms, but not expecting anything too crazy as far as rainfall at the fair on Saturday. Sunday, a better chance for some rain and thunderstorms, maybe again into Monday, but temperature-wise, we're looking really good. Upper 70s, low 80s. We don't have any triple-digit feels-like temperatures in the forecast, which I think makes the fair a little bit more enjoyable when you're not sweltering.
Sounds good. Lauren, keep it real. We'll check it again soon.
Thanks, Lauren.
Have a great day.
You too. It's 1:46. Dr. Weston, our weekly wellness check after this.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
You might not think of Burkhart for corporate uniforms and other business apparel, but you should, because a lot of businesses do. And it's because most times we're cheaper than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer, plus Nike and Under Armour that the other guys can't get. So for businesses and corporations, if you want your employees to look great while representing your brand, and you want to get your apparel for less, you can't beat Burkhart, your business uniform specialists.
You can't beat Burkhart.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here,
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
or there,
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
catch us at home or on the go, thanks to Fellow Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are, on the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 18th.
Uh-oh. Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Seattle Mariners.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in August 18th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Time for our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston, professor of emergency medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin and chief health policy advisor for Milwaukee County. Hey, Dr. Weston.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, doing well. So as we thought a couple of weeks ago when we first spoke about it, this cyclosporiasis story has taken on additional life here. More cases, more outbreaks, more states, more restaurants pulling products from their shelves and from their offerings. Could you remind us what exactly this is and why it's so dangerous?
Yeah, so cyclosporiasis, remember this is this intestinal illness. It's caused by a parasite. You get sick by eating food or water that's contaminated with that parasite, often through fresh produce, and that seems to be what we're seeing here. Your symptoms are not terribly pleasant. They start about a week after exposure, and it's diarrhea, often this explosive diarrhea that we've heard so much about. Now, while we keep learning about new cases, and now, unfortunately, of course, these 2 deaths, it's important to remember that it isn't spread person to person, and it's rarely lethal. It's usually more bothersome.
So now knowing about these recent deaths, does that change how we should be thinking about the outbreak?
Yeah, I mean, of course the deaths are tragic and serious, but they don't necessarily mean the risk to the general public has changed that dramatically. It's still less common than other foodborne illnesses we hear about, like salmonella and E. coli. Now, what we do know is that certain people are more susceptible. And in particular, they're susceptible to getting sick from this rather than just having bothersome symptoms. And that's people with underlying health conditions, older folks, those who are more vulnerable to dehydration. And that was the case for these individuals that died from these complications of cyclosporiasis.
So what are some good tips for you at home, right? People are thinking about fruits and vegetables. Washing them is a good start, but what else?
Yeah, so one of the big questions is, should I just stop eating fresh fruits and vegetables while this outbreak is going on? And I think the answer is no. You shouldn't stop eating fresh produce. The long-term health benefits of fresh produce really outweigh the relatively small risk from this outbreak. Now, that said, those who have health risks, those who are immunocompromised, particularly if you're in the more affected states, it might be worth extra caution to avoid things like pre-cut or bagged lettuce and salad mixes, things that have seemed to be implicated in this outbreak. And of course, for this and all sorts of other health and disease prevention in general, good hygiene goes a long way. Washing your hands well with soap and water, particularly after using the restroom or before preparation or eating of food.
I'm going to be honest, I have not in recent weeks bought any of that bagged lettuce or the salad mixes. I just haven't done it.
Yep.
And the other day, I was making a charcuterie board, and I had some new blueberries and some new raspberries, and I washed those like 3 times. Dr. Weston, just in case. Usually I do 1 rinse and I'm good to go. This, I rinsed them, put them in a bowl, rinsed them again, and I did it again just in case. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's good. You're getting stuff off of it. It is hard to wash this parasite off of things. But as far as the produce, I don't know. I'd say if you're otherwise healthy, Wisconsin doesn't seem to be a major outbreak state, I'd keep eating your bagged lettuce. I certainly have. But, personal choices.
Okay. Hey, I also want to ask you about this because I had not heard of this, and I saw it in the news, some cases of rabbit fever. And I thought, what is rabbit fever?
What is rabbit fever indeed? So rabbit fever is also called tularemia. Many people may have heard of that, but it's what's called a zoonotic disease. So this means it spreads from animals to people. Now, the most common way we get rabbit fever is through tick bites or deer flies that have fed on infected animals, often rabbits, and then bite us. Now, you can also get it from handling an infected animal, This is more for like hunters and trappers and things like that, but also from eating or drinking something that's contaminated. Now, the good news is it's pretty rare. In fact, the CDC reported fewer than 200 cases each year for the last few years. So that's pretty rare in the scheme of these sort of diseases. It does tend to peak during warmer months. We're kind of in that right now. And it's most common in south central states, as well as the Pacific Northwest and the East Coast, certain areas near Massachusetts. Now, it's not, again, spread typically from person to person, but if somebody does contract the disease, and since it is caused by a bacteria, you would usually treat it similar to cyclosporiosis with antibiotics.
So what are you watching out for here in terms of symptoms?
So this one's a little bit trickier because it depends how your exposure was. So, for example, if you get in your eye, you'd have eye redness, eye irritation, inflammation around the eye. If it's something you eat or drink, you develop probably wherever it contacted, a sore throat, mouth, ulcers, swollen tonsils, things like that. And then if you breathed in the bacteria, it'd be more lung symptoms, chest pain, coughing, difficulty breathing. So it really is quite variable. Now, one of the commonalities are kind of what we call constitutional symptoms. So a high fever, chills, headaches, muscle aches. But beyond that, it really depends on the exposure.
Is there cause for concern about cases possibly showing up here in Wisconsin?
Yeah, I wouldn't be totally overly worried here in Wisconsin. Again, it's a rare disease, especially rare in Wisconsin. Now, a lot of the prevention, though, for this disease prevents a lot of other diseases as well, and that's avoiding insects, especially ticks. And so that means an EPA-approved insect repellent, likely with DEET or picaridin. We've talked about that before. And then if you're in outdoor areas where there's lots of ticks, there's lots of mosquitoes, the typical thing: long pants, long sleeves, socks when you're outdoor in those areas. And then, of course, for you and your pet, tick checks when you get home.
Always great information with Dr. Ben Weston on our weekly wellness check. We'll do it again next week, Dr. Weston. Thank you.
See you at the fair.
All right. I was going to say, we'll see you at State Fair. Take care.
Wait.
We'll get all sorts of unhealthy things for Dr. Weston to eat at the fair. We just design it like a little potpourri of stuff for him to dive into. Everything fried.
A little hot Wisconsin cheese. Did he eat the bugs last year?
He did.
I
yes,
feel like
you
he
got
did.
him to do it, and I
Yeah.
did not.
You didn't have any of them?
No.
You tried the latte, though, right? The larva latte?
I did have a sip, but I didn't eat any of the larva.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe this year.
It's 1:56. News coming up.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Back to school season always seems to get everyone back on a schedule. So here's my question. When are you going to make yourself part of that routine? I'm Steve Scafidi, and that's exactly what I did with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Honestly, I wish I would have started sooner. I'm feeling better. I've got more energy because it really, really works. Right now, if you enroll by August 31st, you'll save $200 on the complete Milwaukee Weight Loss program. Don't keep putting it off. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation today. Results may vary.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Sure, first pitch is important, but real Brewers fans know the real warm-up starts in the parking lot. Join us for WTMJ Day, the fan-focused tailgate before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, with catering by Left's Lucky Town. Text WTMJ to 855-616-1620 right now. WTMJ Day, before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
What do you want retirement to look like? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, Certified Financial Planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. For some people, retirement means travel and new adventures. For others, it means spending more time with family or pursuing passions they never had time for before. But turning those goals into a reality takes thoughtful planning. It's not just about saving money. It's about designing an income strategy that supports the life you want while helping your savings last throughout retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help Wisconsin families connect their financial plan with their lifestyle goals, building strategies designed to help support both today's needs and tomorrow's opportunities. My complimentary retirement toolkit can help you begin that process. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 guides covering income planning, taxes, and retirement strategies. Call 414-897-9522 or text the word tax to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word tax to 414-897-9522. Because retirement planning isn't just about numbers, it's about the life those numbers support.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
There's no place like home, and nothing like Brewers baseball.
0-2 pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 1:03.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story: frustration grows over a Madison death investigation.
I'm Jessica Ty, reviewing an air safety incident involving the president.
Rain in the forecast tonight. It tapers off eventually, then mostly cloudy, low 68. Gradual clearing on Thursday with a high of 76. Sunny and 81 on Friday. 74 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, frustrations continue over the lack of information into the investigation of the death of Corey Ruiz in Madison. He was the man killed in a police shooting after allegedly pulling a knife during a confrontation in July. Madison Police Chief John Patterson.
It's been a timing issue. It has to first go through DOJ and DCI, and then we can transition to both the IM's investigation and then, frankly, the one that I'm going to have to be responsible for internally.
Madison's independent police monitor filed a subpoena for the police records connected to the shooting, which have not yet been released.
Federal officials are investigating a safety incident involving the military helicopter carrying President Trump.
Air traffic controllers in Washington generally shut down all air traffic 3 minutes before the president's Marine One helicopter takes off. However, that didn't happen on Tuesday afternoon when Marine One took off ahead of Trump's trip to California. Air traffic control audio from ATC.com suggests the controllers missed the 3-minute warning because another pilot was talking on the same frequency at the same time, and it all happened as another aircraft was taking off from Reagan National Airport.
Marine One Tower, altimeter is 3007. Okay, no 3 minutes, Roger.
Trump's helicopter and the plane were not close, but the incident comes amid ongoing scrutiny of the air traffic near D.C. following a deadly collision between a passenger jet and a military helicopter last year. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
NASA is searching for a piece of SpaceX rocket that has potentially smashed into the moon. ABC's Rena Roy.
The drifting rocket was unintentionally on a collision course with the moon after a pair of lunar landers was launched more than a year ago. Though the crash would be an accident, scientists and skygazers are saying it's an exciting chance to learn more about the moon. Astronomers say the rocket had dumped its remaining fuel and could not be controlled.
SpaceX is working with NASA to avoid any further lunar littering.
The Wisconsin State Fair is bringing a record-breaking attraction to this year's Midway.
The new America 250 wheel stands 230 feet tall, making it the largest portable observation wheel in North America. Fair officials say it also features enclosed gondolas with onboard communication systems for added safety. State Fair CEO Sherry Black tells WTMJ,
I am terrified of heights, but I can tell you I felt very safe here in an enclosed gondola that does have audio in it, so should there be an evacuation or any type of situation, that communication is going on.
The America 250 wheel is about 75 feet taller than the Wonder Fair wheel it replaces. At the Wisconsin State Fair, Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is giving back some of its earlier gains. Still 400 points in the green, however, at 54,479. NASDAQ is lagging off about 150 points at 26,436. And the S&P is modest gains. Yep, about 2 points in the green right now at 77.38. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
When might Micah Parsons be back playing with the pack? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
A whole day dedicated to us. Well, really more dedicated to you. It is WTMJ Day, and it's coming up Saturday, August 29th. It's a private tailgate. You can hang out with us, your favorite WTMJ hosts. Grab a bite to eat, enjoy a beverage before the game. The Brewers take on the Rangers. You'll get a ticket to the game along with your tailgate package. Tickets are available for you. You just got to sign up. Visit WTMJday.com. Again, August 29th. It's a Saturday. And the whole day is sponsored by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, catering courtesy of Left's Lucky Town. Hope to see you there.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything and recreation. Every week we explore the trails and waterways of Wisconsin in the great outdoors. It's a great state on a great lake. Join me every Saturday, every weekend on WTMJ Outdoors.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Lefty Kyle Harrison returns to the mound tonight against the Pirates. Coverage gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. Newly acquired Brewers starter Dustin May will make his debut in the series finale Thursday afternoon.
I mean, being able to come to a team that's leading the division by a lot, very good ball club, and got a really good chance to go to the playoffs and make a run. I'm very, very thrilled to be a part of it.
Brewers are the only team in baseball with 70 wins. They begin the day 5.5 games up on the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Packers linebacker Micah Parsons says he's right where he needs to be in his recovery from a torn ACL and meniscus. Parsons targeting a return to action in Week 6 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it's very realistic. At the same time as in these next 10 weeks, 12 weeks from now, we got to do our part to make it possible. But, it's not off the board, but we got to put the work in.
Parsons says he's back to running and hopes to begin making cuts on the field in the next 6 weeks.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We do have a couple of disabled vehicles out in the system. Really, they aren't causing many problems, so that's good news there. No crashes to report. We like that. The only thing that is causing an issue right now, and it's nothing new, it's our construction. The construction zones on 94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field are slow right now, and it seems to be extra slow today. 4145 westbound in the construction area, or not westbound, excuse me, southbound in the construction area in the Butler area, and it looks like northbound, we're doing okay. Just a little bit of slowing if you're headed 4145 northbound in the Butler area, right around Hampton.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation.
Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right. Built to last.
Well, rain still possible tonight. Maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. It's a pretty big system in the Iowa area, western Illinois, that is moving our direction. That could stay together. It could fizzle out a little bit. But be mindful of rain. Keep an umbrella handy if you're out and about tonight. Gradual clearing tomorrow and a high of 76. Friday's high, 81 degrees. Should be a great start to the fair. It's 76 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 209.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
A big hour of the program here. It's our goal to chat with each one of the Democratic candidates for governor before the primary election. So joining us here in the next 10 minutes or so, Kelda Royce will join us. David Crowley is going to join us coming up at 2:35. Joel Brennan will join us coming out on Friday at the Wisconsin State Fair. We're still working to schedule time with Francesca Hong, and then even a conversation with Tom Tiffany, the presumptive Republican nominee. So that all begins today here in the 2 o'clock hour of Wisconsin's Midday News.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A new Marquette Law School poll out today gives us a fresh look at voters' concerns and how they plan to vote. Inflation and the cost of living remain the number one issue, with the economy close behind. The survey also shows President Trump's overall job approval ticking up slightly since June. But his ratings on handling inflation, the economy, Iran, and gas prices all remain at 30% or lower. Democrats hold a small edge on the generic congressional ballot. The poll also finds continued public skepticism about AI, artificial intelligence, and big data centers. As Greg mentioned, over the next week here in Wisconsin's Midday News, we'll have conversations with the gubernatorial candidates here in Wisconsin. This is a race that people across the country are watching right now. In fact, we just talked with Chief Washington correspondent Scott McFarland from Midas Touch, and he said people in Washington are, quote, obsessed with this race.
Not because Washington rises and falls with how the state administers its services in Wisconsin, though I care about that. It looks like a proxy war over a much bigger issue that can be instructive for the rest of this election and more instructive for the 2028 presidential election. The Wisconsin Democratic gubernatorial primary, along with that thing in Michigan last night where they had their Democratic Senate primary, is an open-ended question Democrats are going to have to answer. Do they want to plug into this electricity going through untraditional candidates and find a way to channel it? Or do they want to try to resist it, fight it, and go with things that are more traditional and more electable?
Our discussions start today with David Crowley and Kelda Royce. Royce is up first in just a couple of minutes here at 2:15. She is walking into the studio. Crowley joins us at 2:37.
Well, number 2, a Green Bay man who survived the attack on Pearl Harbor and served in the U.S. Navy in the Pacific during World War II, has died at the age of 104. Roland E. Breyer died on August 1st, and according to his obituary, he was born in Marinette. He graduated from high school before joining the Navy in 1940. In an interview with the Green Bay Press-Gazette back in 2001, Breyer said he served during Pearl Harbor, the attack, while on a destroyer. And he recalls smelling the smoke above deck and being thrust into action to try and save people on his ship. He's one of the last known survivors in the attack on Pearl Harbor. Roland Breyer passing away at the age of 104. It's 2:13 on WTMJ.
Catch a battle between two of the National League's best when the Brewers take on the Braves Friday, August 21st and Saturday the 22nd. It's a weekend of great matchups and great events as the Brewers celebrate Black Culture Fest at the opener Friday the 21st, featuring live art, live music performances, and a maker's market. Then it's Hank Aaron replica jersey giveaway day on the 22nd, courtesy of UW Credit Union. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today at brewers.com.
Well, we used to have a cluttered mess in our master closet. We no longer do, thanks to Inspired Closets Milwaukee. It was a source of frustration until we connected with Katie and Dan, the team, the wife and husband team at Inspired Closets. They came out to the house, took some measurements, and they agreed. Yep, too cluttered. No problem. We can fix it. It's what they told us. They came up with a beautiful design. We signed off on the plans immediately. It was exactly what we were looking for, and it was done right the first time. The installation, perfect. Still looks brand new. Still looks very clean. High-quality materials, great lighting. It's a space now that we want to keep that door open. Yeah, come see our closet. Prior to Inspired Closets Milwaukee coming out, it was, hey, close that door quickly. This place is a mess. They can do for you what they did for us in a space that requires that little bit of organizational touch, be it a laundry room, a pantry, front hall closet, mudroom, garage, master closet, linen closet, you name it. If it can use an organizational touch and a decluttering, check in with InspiredClosetSMilwaukee.com.
When you're at the State Fair, be sure to check out the Big 5-9 main stage, featuring amazing acts like Nelly, For King and Country, Winona Judd, Melissa Etheridge, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Big 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Big 5-9 at the Wisconsin State Fair between August 6th and August 16th. Member FDIC.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Well, rain could be moving in a little later tonight. Definitely not the washout that was being predicted about 24 hours ago, but rain still in the forecast. That'll be clearing out eventually on Thursday. High on Thursday, 76 after an overnight low of 64 degrees. Sun returns on Friday. It should be a great start to the fair with a high of 81. We'll be at the fair beginning Thursday afternoon. It's 74 degrees in Milwaukee at 2:16. Oh, the push is on. The early voting period is underway here in the state of Wisconsin to determine the Democratic nominee for governor in the state of Wisconsin. Election on August 11th. The primary, of course, will be number one. Then the general election in November. It's our goal here on Wisconsin's Midday News to check in with the candidates for the Democratic side of the governorship here in the state of Wisconsin before the August 11th primary. Happy to be welcomed in studio by State Senator Kelda Royce. Thanks for joining us.
Happy to be with you.
This is a busy time. It feels like crunch time. I know. You're such a busy lady. You're an attorney. You're a small business owner. You're a state senator. You have 3 young kids at home. Why now? Why is this moment right for you to make this run?
Because we need somebody who is strong enough to stand up to this Trump regime and protect our rights and freedoms. We need somebody who can beat Tom Tiffany. And most importantly, we need a leader who can deliver the progressive change that all of us need, fully funding our state public schools, increasing wages, and lowering costs so people can make ends meet.
Kelda, a new Marquette Law School poll just out today shows inflation in the cost of living is the most important issue for 35% of the public. In fact, it's been the top issue for the public in every Marquette poll this year. Governors cannot control interest rates or global inflation, but what's the one thing you would do and can realistically get done to bring our costs down if elected?
Well, we need to raise people's wages because more money in your pockets is how we, in the long term, give people the financial security that they deserve. So I will raise the minimum wage as governor. I will restore collective bargaining rights for workers.
What do you want to raise it to?
$15 an hour with a path to $20 an hour. But on the cost side, I have detailed plans for reducing the cost of childcare, housing, utilities, prescription drugs, and healthcare. My healthcare plan will open up the state health insurance plan, the very same coverage I get as a senator, to let anybody buy in. And that will lower costs for all of us because it's high quality, nonprofit, competitive insurance.
The latest Marquette University Law School poll suggests that 34% remain undecided. That is still a big number. But
I actually think it's higher than that based on my experience traveling in the state.
You know, there was just a primary in Michigan where the polls were way off.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, this just happened, roughly 24 hours ago. The poll also suggests that you've got some significant ground to make up if you believe the poll. What is your closing argument to try and figure out those undecideds and get them to convert to you?
Look at who will be the best governor, who has the experience to actually turn progressive ideas into law, who has the broadest support across the coalition that we are going to need to win, and who will be the strongest candidate to both take on and defeat Tom Tiffany, deliver a Democratic legislature, and stand up to Donald Trump. I am the candidate that has the most endorsements in this race, including the backing of our teachers union, WEAC. I am the candidate that has both the excitement of young progressives on the left because of my career as a fighter, and can get those folks from up north, from rural Taylor County, where I'm from, and the folks who are former Republicans that we need if we're going to win in Wisconsin.
What's one reason a Democrat might not vote for you, and why do you think they're wrong?
Well, I haven't gone along with what Democrats always want. For instance, I've stood up to Governor Evers when I felt like I didn't want to see an expansion of the voucher program, or I felt like his budgets didn't provide enough funding for public schools. And most recently, I stood up against him on the deal that he cut with Robin Vos because I felt like it was too risky to put the state into a nearly $3 billion deficit after the next budget, given the economic uncertainty that we're all facing under this Trump economy.
Is it damaging in any way not to have the endorsement of the sitting governor, Governor Evers?
Well, certainly the data does not suggest that. The data suggests that most voters either don't care or it makes them less likely to vote for it. One thing I know about Wisconsin voters is that we don't want to be told who to vote for, and we don't want our elections bought and sold. The fact that Republicans are pouring $4 million into this primary so that they can buy the opponent that they're hoping for, I think voters are going to reject that. And I also think voters are going to reject being told who to vote for by anyone, the establishment or otherwise. They want a candidate who can beat Tom Tiffany, who has progressive values and can actually turn them into law. And we are demonstrating and have throughout this campaign that we are the campaign with the momentum. And more folks, especially folks after the debate, are saying, wow, Kelda Roys has that combination of fighting spirit, progressive values, and electability that we deserve.
So time is running out here for voters to make up their minds. And it is wild to me just how many are undecided right now. Mm-hmm. And I talked to some undecided voters last night who said, we don't know. So I think time is of the essence for people to figure out what they're going to do here. Mm-hmm. The race consolidated quickly in the end. If a Democrat only has time to hear one reason to vote for you, Kelda Roys, instead of Francesca Hong, David Crowley, or Joel Brennan, what is that one reason?
Experience. I am the candidate that has 25 years in and around government and in the private sector, turning good progressive ideas into law. No other candidate can say that. We are all good people with good ideas, but I'm the one who can get things done.
You look at the needs of Madison and Milwaukee. You're familiar with both, but there are also a number of rural communities in the state of Wisconsin. Some I'm sure you visited here.
I know, I'm from one.
Right, you're very familiar with that. But how do you blend the needs of both, right? Bigger city, capital city, and rural America right here in Wisconsin?
When you actually talk with voters in every part of the state, the concerns really are not that different. People want good public schools for their kids. They want to be able to afford health care and housing and childcare. And they're really frustrated by a government that is more focused on fighting and the loudest, most extreme voices than actually getting things done. And that's why I feel very hopeful about the future of the state, because I think there's a lot more that we have in common than the ways that politicians are trying to divide us.
Republicans may still control one or both chambers after the general election. Name one Republican lawmaker who you'd call within that first week as governor, and what would you ask them?
I will call every single lawmaker, Democrat or Republican, because I think a good leader is someone who listens and can collaborate with others. And again, I am the one candidate in this race who has demonstrated again and again and again over many years the ability to get things done, regardless of whether Democrats or Republicans are in control.
What would you ask of them, though? Because you want people to work together, right? So if you're making those calls and say you do make those calls to every lawmaker, what do you want?
We have got to solve the cost of living challenges for folks. We've got to bring the cost of healthcare down. Here are my ideas and what are yours? And where can we work together on this? I would ask them to say, we've got to stop what's going on with data centers. We need to stop the way that these big tech companies are steamrolling our communities. Here are my ideas and what are yours? And figure out how we can work together. This is going to be an ongoing conversation because governors should not be queens, should not be kings. And I have demonstrated throughout my career an ability to work effectively with people across the ideological spectrum.
We did see, too, when you mentioned data centers and that new poll, that MU Law poll that just came out today, skepticism. There is a lot of public skepticism right now, the poll found about artificial intelligence and big data centers.
Wisconsin is not perfect. It's a great state. We live in it. I love it. It's been my home forever. If you could instantly fix one thing that is broken in the state of Wisconsin, where would you turn your attention?
Wow, that's a really big question. I think it would be funding at the state level for public services, for public education, for local government. For 30 years, we've had a budget that basically underfunds the services that all of us need. Everything from public safety, fire, to libraries and parks, and early childhood all the way up through universities and higher ed. And it's because Republicans have essentially given billionaires and big corporations a free ride. In many cases, not only are they not paying taxes, they're also getting public subsidies. And that needs to change so that we can all have the opportunity to thrive.
We mentioned the numbers of the undecided voters in the MU Law poll. And here's the thing, polls are polls these days, but the MU Law poll is highly respected, not just here in Wisconsin, but across the country as well. But we know polls are challenging, especially in 2026, when you have people who might not pick up the phone because they don't know the number, or they get an email and it says, click on this link to do the poll. And they say, no, we've been told not to click on links. So we'll see whether our poll ends up being accurate. But right now, the latest one has you at 2% support. So if voters wake up on August 12th and you are the nominee for the Democrats, what happened over the next week, and actually a little less than that at this point, that changed this race?
Well, I will say that poll is weeks old and included candidates who are no longer in the race. And it was before the debate when most people were not paying attention and did not even know that there was a primary happening. What we saw is there has been one poll, an independent national poll that was done after the debate, and it surveyed over 1,000 voters in Wisconsin who are swing voters, the independent voters we're going to need if we're going to win in November against Tom Tiffany. And what that poll found was unequivocal, that I am by far the strongest and most electable candidate to beat Tom Tiffany. At the end of the day, as Democrats, that is our goal. We are all good people in this primary, but I am the one that can actually give us our best shot of beating Tom Tiffany. And I think the more voters are looking and paying attention, they're realizing there's a reason I have the most endorsements in the race. There's a reason that I have been able to build this broad coalition of support, everybody from never Trump Republicans all the way to folks on the far left, because I am the candidate that can unite us and beat Tom Tiffany.
Hey, Kelda, have you had a chance to spend time in the Fox Valley over the last week or so with all the damage in Menasha and Appleton? Yes. What goes through your mind? What's the first thing you see when you're touring and visiting with folks and the damage is significant? I know communities, there's an outpouring of support to help one another, but as a governor of this state, you also have a high level of responsibility to make sure they get what they need. What's going through your mind when you're witnessing all that?
Well, the first thing I see is neighbors helping neighbors. And that is the thing that I love the most about the state, is that we look out for one another as neighbors and as community members. It is essential that we have emergency management that can help prevent disasters and that can be on the ground immediately providing support for people. So folks who lost their house have a place to sleep and shower, to help them rebuild their lives, to connect them with resources, to help them in dealing with their insurance companies. All of these things are really, really vital. And having well-funded, strong state government, partnering with our local units of government, and doing federal advocacy to get that money into the state is essential. And as governor, I'm going to prioritize that.
State Senator Kelda Roy is joining us in our studio. The August 11th primary is right around the corner. Get a little rest or just keep it in the campaign trail, right? Time to rest later, I suppose.
Absolutely. We're all going to need to be on the campaign trail to win in November.
And Kelda, thank you for joining us in our studios today.
Thank you.
It is 2:27. We've got news coming up.
It's a summer of big wins with WinFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Just play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries and your chance to win cash and reward play all summer long. Then keep the excitement going because all your monthly drawing entries roll over into the WinFest final drawings on September 25th, where you could win cars, dream vacations, free play, and cash. Don't miss out on WinFest, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Access Legal is now Pivot Work Injury Law, a new name that better reflects our sole focus on helping Wisconsin's injured workers. We have the same mission, the same team, and the same dedication to helping those hurt at work. Our team has handled thousands of cases, recovered more than $50 million for Wisconsin's injured workers, and remains committed to fighting for the benefits you deserve. If work has taken a toll on your body or your quality of life, turn to the team you already know and trust. Visit pivotworkinjurylaw.com today.
Horicon Bank is an incredible story, founded by inventors, fueled by community, focused on business, and truly Wisconsin. That's the story of Horicon Bank since 1896. Amazing story. Financing requests with Horicon Bank can be approved in days, not weeks. Your banker at Horicon understands you and your business. The service and products go hand in hand, and nobody understands it better than Horicon Bank to get the job done for you. With branches now open in New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, and Grafton, even West Bend, it's Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years, and member FDIC.
That'll be $84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
Get more out of your everyday. Upside is the free app that gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas, groceries, and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus. Remember, use promo code ACT5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. Your top story: sexual assault allegations filed against a Milwaukee radio exec.
I'm Jessica Ty. The Brewers make sure kids stay fed this summer.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Michigan's high-stakes Democratic primary, progressive Dr. Abdul El-Sayed was declared a victory against moderate Representative Haley Stevens. He used his victory speech to rally his base against Republican Mike Rogers, who he will face in November's general election. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has more.
El-Sayed is now calling Mike Rogers a Trump bootlicker, saying he's someone who can't decide whether he's a neocon or a MAGA, he's a corporate sellout, all these things. Mike Rogers has a statement today that says the race is now a choice between what he calls common sense or complete insanity.
A potential security threat at Trump National Golf Course in Southern California ahead of the president's visit. A man identified as 38-year-old Janine John Taylor was arrested and is now facing charges. In London, police arresting a woman in connection with a stabbing attack in Covent Garden. Police say 4 men were stabbed and they retrieved a pair of scissors from the scene. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:31. Allegations of child sexual assault filed against a former Milwaukee radio executive.
44-year-old Jordan Lee has been charged with first-degree sexual assault of a child under 12 in Milwaukee County. Investigators say the case began after a psychiatrist contacted Milwaukee police about an email Lee allegedly sent, which described sexual abuse involving members of his family. According to the criminal complaint, detectives also recovered text messages and a written note that included similar admission. A Radio Milwaukee spokesperson tells WTMJ Lee's employment ended on July 23rd and that the criminal case is not connected to his work at the station. Lee is due in court next Monday. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
We Energies is expanding its renewable energy portfolio as electricity demand continues to go up, and that's driven in part by big projects like data centers.
The utility has begun construction on 3 new projects in Wisconsin, a battery storage facility in Walworth County, a solar and battery project in Rock County, and a wind farm in Iowa and and Grant counties. Together, the projects are expected to generate enough electricity to power about 100,000 homes while helping meet growing demand from customers, including future data centers. We Energy says the projects were previously approved by state regulators. The projects also expected to create nearly 500 construction jobs. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Inflation and the cost of living remain the top concern for Americans. A new Marquette University Law School poll shows 35% of adults say inflation is the country's most important issue, followed by the economy at 15%. Concern over the war involving the U.S. and Iran has declined since the spring. The poll also found President Trump's overall job approval ticked up slightly.
A new scam targeting people in Waukesha. A caller is claiming to be Deputy Campbell from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office and telling residents they have an outstanding warrant. The caller then demands payment or else the resident will be arrested. Sheriff's deputies say they would never demand payments over the phone or ask for gift cards, credit cards, or personal information. They recommend hanging up immediately and then calling Waukesha County deputies back directly to report the scammers. Jen Gregg, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 2:33.
QC Kinetics helps active people stay active. People like David Boardman, police officer, competitive athlete, and gym owner who trains hard almost every day.
My body's taken a lot of abuse over the years. I've had multiple knee surgeries on both of my knees. I could barely run a mile prior to going to QC Kinetics. Doctors have all told me, hey, you are going to need knee replacements.
But QC Kinetics gave David great news.
We're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but two healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
And after David's regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics,
since I've gone to them, I run 20-30 miles a week. I really wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for QC Kinetics.
From knee pain to Ironman training,
it's a no-brainer.
Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics to book your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Don't wait until Friday for your fish fry. The Mine Shaft restaurant serves their all-you-can-eat fish fry every Wednesday and Friday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The haddock fish fry is just $8.99. You'll pay twice that at other restaurants. I love the Mine Shaft fish fry. Build your own big burger or chicken sandwich with a pile of hot fries for under $10 today. Kids and grandkids under 3, eat for free. Sunday through Thursday from the kids menu, it is free. They can safely play in the world-class game room, quietly set away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. That sounds fantastic. Everybody in the family wins. I urge you to just walk on in today for your Wednesday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry at just $8.99. That's a crazy low price, and it's great food. Cocktails, beer, appetizers are half price Monday through Thursday from 2 till 5. The Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. Big food, big fun. It's the Mine Shaft Restaurant.
Abby Window. Have you been thinking about new windows? If you're having a hard time operating them, feeling air coming through, or feel your energy bills are too high, now is the time to call Abby Home. We're celebrating 16 years in business, so we're having our anniversary sale. Right now, get a free triple pane upgrade on all windows. A free triple pane upgrade on all windows. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to abbyhome.com today or give us a call, 414-436-ABBY, 414-436-2229.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. The Brewers look to make it 2 in a row over the Pirates tonight with lefty Kyle Harrison returning to the mound. He's off the injured list. Grant Anderson, Brewers reliever, option 2, AAA Nashville. Newly acquired starter Dustin May will make his Brewers debut Thursday afternoon.
I mean, being able to come to a team that's leading the division by a lot, very good ball club, and got a really good chance to go to the playoffs and make a run. I'm very, very thrilled to be a part of it.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6:05, and Packers linebacker Micah Parsons says he's right where he needs to be, recovering from his torn ACL and torn meniscus. Parsons is targeting a return to action Week 6 against the Dallas Cowboys.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a new situation. It's a crash. I-43 North, about a mile beyond Layton Avenue. The left lane is closed because of a crash, and I am starting to see backups because of it. I'm going to pull up the camera for you here. Looks like emergency responders are at the scene already. This is in another construction zone. Feels like just about everywhere there's a construction barrel or two, right? So traffic is moving along slowly in the one right-hand lane, but it is slow. And I have a feeling this backup is going to get even longer. Emergency responders out there at the scene of the crash. Hopefully the injuries are not too bad. Once again, that's a brand new one. I-43 North, about a mile beyond Layton Avenue, left lane, closed due to a crash.
Rain could move in a little later tonight. Some rumbles of thunder not out of the question. Eventually, we clear up on Thursday with a high of 76. Sunny on Friday, high 81. Hot and humid Saturday with a high of 82. Similar conditions on Sunday. 75 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:38. Well, continuing our conversations here with the candidates for governor on the Democratic side as we inch closer to the August 11th primary election. Happy to be joined on the line by Milwaukee County Executive. It's David Crowley joining us. Hey, David.
Hey, how's you doing, Greg? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, where are you today? What are you up to?
Right now, I am in Madison, but then I'm going to be heading to Waukesha after this and then ending my day in Racine. But traveling all across the state, and because it's such a beautiful state, it's the scenic route wherever I go.
Well, we're happy to have you on the line with us, David. I want to go back to the events of mid-July. If you and I were to sit down and map out a strategy for running for governor, it probably would not include suspending your campaign and then jumping back in 10 days later. How do you believe that has impacted your campaign and maybe even stalled momentum? Have you felt that in any way?
You know, I'll tell you, making the decision to suspend my campaign then was very difficult. But it was difficult to even get back into this race. And I would have never gotten back into this race if my wife wouldn't have given me the opportunity and given me the green light. But, since the relaunch, we have seen incredible momentum. We've not only received the endorsement of Governor Tony Evers and Congresswoman Gwen Moore, but we've had labor unions like IBEW, operating engineers, LIUNA, carpenters. And so we are seeing an incredible shift of momentum to where this looks like it's going to become a two-person race. We've been traveling across this state. We've been in Wausau, Ashland, Superior, Hudson, you name it. And I feel really good as far as who's coming out and how they're coming out to support.
If these numbers from the latest MU poll are accurate, there's 34% of primary voters among Democratic primary voters who remain undecided. That is a big chunk of people. And I know they're out there because I've talked to them. In fact, last night I talked to some people who said, I still do not know who I'm voting for. And as I look at the calendar here, we have less than a week until primary day. It's coming up on Tuesday here. So I think for these undecided voters, I feel like these interviews are key. And something that I asked Kelda Royce when we had her here on our last half hour, something I want to ask you as well and remain consistent because I feel like people need answers. A new Marquette Law School poll that just came out today shows inflation and the cost of living the most important issue for 35% of the public. And it's been the top issue for the public time after time after time. In fact, every Marquette poll this year. We know that governors cannot control things like interest rates or global inflation. So, David, what is one thing that you would do and can realistically get done to bring our costs down here in the state of Wisconsin?
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. Cost of living, the affordability, that is the biggest issues. And one, we can help lower property taxes. We can do that by fully funding our public schools and making sure that we increase the reimbursement rates for our public schools because we've had to rely on local property tax owners to actually go to referendum in order to pay for those different types of services. And so once the state gets back to its promise of how we fund our public schools, that's just going to naturally ease the property tax pressures that we're all feeling here in Wisconsin. But there are some things that we can do, even when it comes down to what we're paying at the gas station, right? We have a law called the Unfair Sales Act, where there's a 9% markup, a minimum markup on gasoline at the pump, and it's 9%. Which means currently you're paying 40 cents a gallon. And that doesn't go towards fixing our roads. That goes directly to big oil as a guaranteed profit. That's one thing that we can do to help lower costs. And not just for those who are going to the gas pump, but just imagine the groceries that has to be, freighted, traveled and pushed all across this state and across this country. When we can reduce those gas prices, that will also in turn reduce those produce prices. And we need more housing supply, right? The more and more that we can build more affordable housing, we spread the taxation across that amount of people, which will naturally ease it as well. But we have more ideas, but more importantly, we got to bring people to the table. When you bring people to the table, they don't feel like they're on a menu anymore, and they can lend their voices to the solutions, and we can help tailor those solutions for the communities that need it most, because there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution for the state of Wisconsin, just like there isn't one in Milwaukee County.
David, how challenging has it been to convince Wisconsinites, especially in rural areas, that you, as a city man and Milwaukee County executive, have the best interest of all areas of our state, be it Madison, Milwaukee, Green Bay, or rural America right here in the state?
Well, I'm very unique in this race because, I'm not only the only executive that's in this race and spent years building relationships when I worked in the state legislature, but I'm the only candidate in this race that have actually delivered for every city, every town, and every village and county in the state of Wisconsin. When we were facing the largest fiscal cliff in Milwaukee County, I didn't just advocate for the community I represented. We built coalitions. We had the Counties Association, Towns Association, League of Municipalities, over 175 stakeholders statewide to make sure that rural, suburban, and urban communities got more resources. And so we've been able to develop that trust. And so because of that trust, they know when I'm coming in that I'm going to be a governor for all of us, right? Because I don't just represent urban communities. I represent suburban communities as well, and have great partnerships with county executives and county boards all across this state. And so I'm not just talking to them. It's about listening, right? Understanding those solutions and asking them what they believe will work in their community and actually implementing it. Showing up isn't the only thing that you have to do. It's about what do you leave them with? What kind of sustainability are you leaving in these communities? And how are you making them feel at the end of the day? And so as I traveled across, the Northwoods over this past weekend, the amount of enthusiasm, the amount of people who came out was just tremendous. And I know at few of the stops, the Hudson particularly, we had close to 100 people. We were in New Glarus, we had over 100 people. And so we know as long as we're speaking directly to the issues that people care the most about, we'll be able to get over the hump, win in August, and ultimately win in November.
We're talking with Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, who is running for Wisconsin governor on the Democratic side. David, say it is noon on Inauguration Day and you have just been elected governor. What's the first thing you sign? What's your first executive order?
Well, I think the first thing I'm going to have to sign is the oath of office to make sure that I'm there. But,
okay,
when
fair.
I think about,
after that.
but after that, I never want to put the cart before the horse, because this is really about what does the legislature look like, right? Would this be a Republican-controlled legislature? Would it be a Democratic-controlled legislature? And if it's a Democratic-controlled legislature, this is really going to be about creating the levels of partnerships to make sure that we can pass good policies to show that we can govern. And so my goal is never to have to do an executive order if we have a Democratic majority legislature. But even if we don't, I want to make sure that I'm talking and understanding the Republicans' concerns, because I'm going to be a governor for all of us. But when it comes down to executive orders, I just want to make sure that whatever we're doing, we're keeping more money in people's pockets. We're lowering property taxes across this state. There were people who have access to child care and things of that nature. And so I can't say what I'm going to do because there's so much runway. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that in this state, when the tide rises, all the boats rise for everyone.
David, you are in a position right now where you work with city leaders throughout the state, Republican and Democrat. Mm-hmm. Can you speak to the level of bipartisan discussions and legislation that is passed out of bipartisan nature? We don't hear about it as much. Does it really exist? Because it feels like it has to in order for real progress to be attained.
I mean, it has to exist. This is the state of Wisconsin. We're not a red state. We're not a blue state. We are the purplest of purple states. And as I always joke, we're probably one of the swingiest of swing states, out here in this country. And so what we have to focus on is just how do people just get ahead. And there are bipartisan moments. When we passed Act 12, for every community to get more money, I helped lead that discussion as a Democratic county executive through a Republican-controlled legislature, and we had both Democrats and Republicans who signed that. And when it comes down to attracting economic opportunities, growth for businesses and communities all across this state, you can find a bipartisanship. And I truly believe that right now where we are in this country, this isn't a question necessarily about red versus blue, right versus left. This is about right and wrong, about the have and have-nots. And so our job is just to make sure that we're just doing great work. And I know that we're going to be able to do that in a bipartisan manner. We have much more fair maps than we've had in the past. And when it comes down to how I lead and how I build relationships, I want to make sure that everybody has skin in the game. And so my goal is to do everything in a bipartisan manner. It may not always happen, but we don't know what the legislature will look like come January 2027.
We've talked recently, and especially today, a lot about those undecided voters because they are a large chunk of Wisconsin voters right now. But some people do have their minds made up. In fact, some people have already gone to vote and have put their ballots in. What's one reason a Democrat might not vote for you, and why do you think they're wrong?
I've never thought about that, but I don't think that it's necessarily about being wrong. It's about supporting the individual that you feel closely aligned with your particular values. And this is what a democracy is really about, having enough options to make the choice that you feel is best for you and best for your community and best for this state. I think people are going to vote for me because it's not just my vision that I have for the state of Wisconsin, but it's also the things that we have been able to do within Milwaukee County, moving the needle forward for all 19 municipalities that fall somewhere different throughout the political spectrum, right? We've built affordable housing. And because of that, we have the lowest unsheltered homeless count per capita than any community in the United States. We've been able to reduce our overdose deaths by 40% in just 4 years. We not only increased the revenues within Milwaukee County close to about $100 million a year starting in 2024, but we also delivered the largest property tax cut in Milwaukee County history. And so I'm the only candidate with receipts that has actually done stuff in this state that's in this race. And I believe that's the reason why people will vote for me. And if they decide not to vote for me, I think that's just the case of the fact that we may not have been able to get in front of those voters at the right time for them to cast a vote for David Crowley.
David, are you back in this race without the support of Governor Evers?
I'm going to be very honest with you. This was not an easy decision. And I didn't get in this race because of Governor Evers' support. And I'll just tell you the story. When I suspended my campaign and I supported the lieutenant governor, that Sunday before everything came out, she gave me heads up. And I told her, don't worry about it. I got your back. That Monday after her press conference, I received so many phone calls. Me and my wife said no. Wednesday night, we get a phone call and somebody asked us to sleep on it. So I went to my wife and said, we should sleep on this. She said, absolutely not. We're not sleeping on this, but we will pray about it. And when we prayed, my wife out loud said, Lord, give us a sign and make it obvious because I don't do well with subtleties. And she asked to see a red bird. So that Thursday morning, we wake up, no red bird or anything like that. I'm still getting these phone calls, and my wife tells my team, stop calling him, we're out. We're not getting involved in this race. And so the lieutenant governor calls me again, and she was checking in on me. And I told her, it doesn't matter how disappointed or how angry I am. I'm going to continue to back you for this position. She did not tell me that she was dropping out. And so that Friday morning, I was sleeping in. People were calling me like crazy, and I didn't answer the phone. My wife went to work, was setting up her outreach table, and as she was setting up her outreach table, she ended up seeing a red bird. And when she seen that red bird, not even 2 minutes later, she gets a phone call about the lieutenant governor dropping out. And so she calls my daughter, has her wake me up, and my wife and I talked for a few minutes. And before I can even respond to the news, she told me that it was time for us to get back into the race.
Well, I know you're a very busy man, David, and you'll be crisscrossing the state here over the next several days. Really appreciate you carving out some time for us on Wisconsin's Midday News today.
Appreciate the time, David.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Yep, you bet. It's Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley joining us here on Wisconsin's Midday News. We'll wrap up the program. Some final thoughts after this.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the rock-solid pre-approval guarantee to $10,000.
It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified rock-solid pre-approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 rock-solid seller guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Outstanding. As we've grown tremendously and you guys have still been able to meet our needs each step of our growth, that's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Rain possible tonight, some rumbles of thunder could go along with that. Some of us will stay dry. Overnight low 64 degrees. Tomorrow's high 80, clearing skies. Then on Friday, a high of 81 under sunny skies. Next chance of rain appears to be on Saturday in the evening hours. It's 76 degrees and cloudy in Milwaukee at 254. Well, make sure to check out the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast page if you've missed any of our conversations today with State Senator Kelda Royce or Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley. Joel Brennan's going to be joining us in our State Fair studios on Friday. We do have a reach out to Francesca Hong to join us either on Friday or Monday of next week. We wanted to get in all the candidates prior to the primary election on August 11th.
We also have calls into Tom Tiffany's office as well. And ideally, it would be wonderful. I don't know his schedule just yet, but if we could get him on Wednesday when we actually know what's happening on the Democratic side.
Yeah, very much so. So it's 2:55 here. Check out the podcast page if you missed any of our conversations today or previous days. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Siding Unlimited. Also, a reminder, we are on YouTube each and every day. You can find some of our show clips on YouTube or watch our current program. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is right around the corner here on WTMJ.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hildebrand of Hildebrand Law Firm. Since 2001, we've proudly helped Milwaukee families and business owners protect what matters most. We combine